6 years. Now, here are your hosts, Peter and CJ.
Woo! Yeah! Dunked on you. I'm dunking on everybody today. Like Jonas standing right here just getting dunked on. I'm dunking on everybody. Let's go. Everybody's getting dunked on.
Where's the marker?
Where's the marker? Dunk on it. Let's dunk on that marker. We're dunking on folks. Austin, come here. Let me dunk on you.
Now, why would I let somebody dunk on me?
Just let me dunk on you. Come on. All right, fine.
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to do the opposite of that.
All right, I'll force it then.
Don't dunk on this man against his will. What are you talking
That's
about?
how it works. It's Austin said he wasn't going to do it, so if you're going to get dunked on one way or the other. It's just how it works today. I'm in that kind of mood because they saw a lot of people get dunked on last night. There were a lot of nasty dunks last night. The NBA's back, also the World Series, but the NBA's back, baby, in full force, and that's what it's all about. First real night of action where we had stuff just getting it all over the place. We had teams and we had people and we had things and we had stuff going on. It was wild. It was wild. Some crazy stuff. We're going to talk about that. It was really, really good for about 3 quarters for the Grizzlies. Then it was terrible. Absolutely awful. I mean, that's the best way to describe what happened last night in Miami, where the Heat end up easily beating the Grizzlies 120-101, where, it was, like I said, man, for a second there, you're like, wait a minute, what's going on here? And then, harsh reality was served last night in Miami. We'll discuss lots of things. John Gassaway coming up 8 o'clock, talk a little college basketball with us. But, of course, we'd love to hear from you throughout the show. But let me introduce myself. I'm Peter of the titular Peter Edmiston Experience. Then you have what? That's how you say it. That's the word. Titular. That's what that's a real word.
I have no doubt it's a real word. Okay. You got it.
You're giving me a look.
Titular. Let's get
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
What's it mean?
It means the.
Wait, no, don't tell me. I got to look it up so I know what it means. Because
I literally have the definition right here, but you're going to do it yourself.
Look it up, CJ. Look it up.
Holding or constituting a purely formal position or title without any real authority. Okay.
Or denoting a person or thing from whom or which the name of an artistic work or similar is taken.
This is the one. That's the one I'm using.
Oh, okay.
Of the Peter Edmiston Experience, I'm the titular Peter Edmiston. That would be the, it's the, I don't know, Alan Parsons Project, the titular Alan Parsons.
Also, some churches in Rome where parish cardinals are appointed, but I don't think that's the right one.
That's right. No. We're not talking about that. That is CJ Hurt. He's also the titular CJ Hurt because it's the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. So that's part of the title.
Hey, everybody.
What do you think on that? What are we thinking? 1 out of 10. What are we thinking?
10. That's definitely a 10. That is up there with Fat Albert's Hey. That is up there with Did I Do That? Steve Urkel, Joey's Whoa. Like, that's up there as far as catchphrases go. Who else had a really good catch? Dynamite. That is the dynamite of this era.
Everybody had catchphrases back in the day.
Are we done with catchphrases?
Yeah, I think we're done with catchphrases.
Oh!
The Rock had plenty of catchphrases.
They named a whole...
If you smell...
CJ, what's your catchphrase again?
Hey,
it doesn't matter what your catchphrase is.
I walked into that.
You walked
right in there.
You walked right into that.
SmackDown is basically the Rock's catchphrase.
Yeah, laying the SmackDown on your candy ass. That was one.
Rudy Poo.
He had so many. He went through a bunch of them.
He did
because he was great. That's why he was going.
And millions of Rock's fans. Yeah.
And that's what nobody liked him. Like, what is this guy talking
Everywhere
about?
he went was like, it's nice to be back home and wherever he was at the time.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Memphis.
Come back to wherever.
Yeah.
And again,
Albuquerque.
And everybody would boo him the whole time.
No, they wouldn't. No. Back in that day, he wasn't doing that stuff until he was pretty popular. Like, he was doing the more like the laying the smack down, that kind of stuff when he was still getting it. But it didn't take him long, man. Once he shed his initial persona, it didn't take him long. He was on a. They strapped a rocket to him, and he was shooting up the charts.
You had to strap a rocket to that guy.
Was
it Michael Cole?
Charisma,
was
man.
Michael Cole the poor guy?
Michael Cole.
They would just sit the interview.
Kept talking about pie and all this stuff.
Yes.
Uh-huh. That's right. It was great. Those are the great. Him and Stone Cold. Legendary. Legendary.
Him, Stone Cold, Triple H, Undertaker, Kane,
Jericho.
Oh,
it's great. I mean, there's some great
Edge,
stuff.
Christian, Dudley, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, like that.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Mm-hmm.
That was a real good time.
Undertaker, man, legend.
Yes, most certainly.
So we'll have to talk to Dustin Starr. It's making me want to talk to him. Got to get my hated rival Dustin Starr back in here to talk a little wrestling. Oh, I forgot. Dustin hates it when you do that. I don't know why Dustin hates it when you do that. He really does. Makes him mad.
He'll be okay.
Not sure why. Austin Eldridge told you that it'll be his last press box tomorrow. He's still on the countdown for him leaving. He'll be about 4 days away.
This guy.
I was a day
Mr.
late.
Norris.
I told you, or 2 days late, whatever it was. I told you he was going to come in here wearing the 49ers.
My friend
eventually.
Mr. Norris coming in here wearing all 49ers gear.
All 49ers gear. Hadn't seen him in anything 49ers in
Just
about
about-
what? When was the Super Bowl run?
Yeah, 6 years ago?
6 years.
Yeah, that
6
sounds right.
years. No 49ers gear today.
It must have been a sale.
Hat, shirt, all of it. I love it. I love this.
He said he grew up a Jimmy Garoppolo fan.
I mean,
You can't say
that sounds all right.
I love his fandom because that's the type of fans we should all be. We should all just cheer for
terrible fans?
winners.
Ugh.
Cheer for winners.
Ugh. I hate his fandom.
You don't go to the store and buy subpar stuff at the store, do you?
I love Mr. Norris.
Why do you wear Michigan stuff?
But I hate his fandom.
Because I'm an idiot like the rest of us.
Speak for yourself, buddy. I'm no idiot.
You're not?
Mm-mm.
You rock with Washington still?
Yeah.
Like nobody's forcing you to do that.
No.
Okay.
That doesn't make me an idiot. That makes me a masochist, but doesn't make me an idiot.
Well, let's change it. I'm a masochist like the rest of you.
There you go.
There we go.
Then absolutely.
Yes.
I will 100% rock with that. As I mentioned, we'll talk a little college hoops with John Gassaway, including the preseason polls. I know John's a huge fan of those, so we'll certainly.
Nobody likes these preseason polls,
likes them.
but we keep getting them.
I don't know.
Everybody gets so mad about them, but then they're like, oh, they don't matter.
It's not good. Not good. And we'll talk about all that stuff and more. In the World Series last night, the Nationals quadruple the Astros, 12-3.
I'm not feeling so bad about my Cardinals looking so bad against them.
No,
now. They're
they
looking
looked
really
better.
good.
They looked better than what the Astros have put up. 2 games at home, best 2 pitchers, and does not matter. They are getting tatered by the Nationals, and I like to think it's a little friend called karma. It's coming back to bite the Astros after the malignant nonsense that they're throwing out there after the ALCS and their ham-fisted, terrible response to it continues. It absolutely continues. I mean, I think this is a color purple situation right here is what we got.
Till you do right by me. Okay.
Till you do right by that reporter,
Okay.
No success will come your way.
That's such a good movie. I hear the book is
Saw the
something
play.
that's awesome.
The play's amazing.
Oh. Orpheum?
Mhm.
But that was an experience.
It was. It was
Okay.
good. Really good. So, till you do right by that reporter that you have wronged, and the Astros have still, it's incredible that there's the allegation is basically corroborated by half a dozen people or more at this point. Everyone is pretty much on board with the fact that this is exactly what happened. And their GM, Jeff Lunau, yesterday morning goes on he has a scheduled radio appearance, and he goes on, he's like, well, we just can't figure out who could say what the intent of these things were? Who could say? We're sorry if folks were offended. What do you mean, who could say? Do you know the guy? Does he work for you? He's the assistant GM. You're the GM. You think you could call him into the office and say, hey, buddy, what was your intent? What were you doing with that? That's probably a good way to figure it out. That's step one I would do. I'm no detective here, but that'd be step one.
Olivia. But no, when Sports Illustrated reaches out to you for a comment, you would think it would be, something happened.
Let me investigate this.
Let's see if we can't.
Which I'm sure they did, which is even worse because then they're like, we're just not going to comment on it. So they still have not. Their first statement that they came out accused the reporter of just making it up.
Mm-hmm.
Say we're extremely disappointed in Sports Illustrated for fabricating or for appearing to fabricate a story. At no point have they apologized to her for accusing her of being a liar.
Yeah.
They've handled this beyond ineptly. One of the most idiotic. First of all, I mean, a malignant culture creates this sort of thing. But putting the incident itself to the side for the moment, the response has been so tone deaf as to explain to you just how the culture got so bad to begin with. And it's all coming out now. And I am a firm believer that whatever you want to call it, karma, fate, the universe, whatever, is enacting justice on the Astros on the field because nothing is being done off the field. I mean, this is it, and it's nice to see. I was never really a Nationals fan until now. Now I love it. It's awesome. You got guys, you got their two best pitchers at home, both struggling. I mean,
Verlander's throwing the ball off his cleat.
Yeah, Verlander throws the ball off his leg. Well, it was like it's off his meaty calf that just hit himself. Yu Darvish is out there.
555 days later.
Yep. After he clowned Darvish clowns him right back. I mean, this is what it's all about. This is called sweet revenge for so many folks. I think it's entirely appropriate. So I was loving it. You've got guys booting the ball out there just looking terrible. You got big innings. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's great. So let's hope the Nationals sweep.
And for the record, I took the Nationals because I know my baseball.
Okay. Mattress Mac.
He hedged his bets, didn't he? Yeah, he hedged
I don't
them.
think he's hedged on. He's not betting against the Astros. His bet is hedged that he doesn't have to give out the free furniture if the furniture isn't free unless the Astros win the World Series.
But I thought he found somebody to take a bet on the other side.
On the other side of that, which is to say the Astros winning the World Series. As far as I know, he has not bet on anything other than the Astros winning. If that's changed.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Those are to hedge his bet on the furniture.
Yeah.
The fact that he sold all that furniture, $15 million, he says, of furniture if the Astros win the World Series that would be free.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get up to $15 million on the other side so that he can break even one way or the other. Well, I don't know if he's gotten all the way up there, but he may not. He may need to cancel all that stuff at this point because I'm not sure the Astros got to win 4, not in a row, but they got to win 4 of the next 5.
Yeah.
Not easy to do. 15 of the last 26 teams that have gone on, that have won the World Series game for the first 2 games on the road have gone on to sweep, including the last 5.
Oh.
So, just so you know.
All right. I'm not going to get Yankees Braves 96 where the Braves just collapsed after outscoring the Yankees, 16-1?
That was exactly what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
Could be. So we'll see. That was the World Series. That's our World Series talk here on the Hour of Power.
Good.
You can get more of that if you go back and listen to the podcast. Listen to it again. Isn't it amazing though? I was watching SportsCenter last night, which I don't often do, but some nights I feel like, let me just give it a shot, see what's going on. And I was watching the end of the Nuggets Blazers game, and they bleed into Scott Van Pelt's SportsCenter, which I don't know. By the way, did you see the? I threw up a graphic of the late night SportsCenter and how
you did.
I don't know if those guys were drunk or what. I mean,
it's late night, Peter. We know what they mean.
We managed to
misspell
2 words, 2 very important. But Brooklyn and Warriors are pretty common words.
We know the K is implied.
Brooklyn.
The K is implied there.
Brooklyn.
O next to an L means a K should be
and
there.
Then the Warriors instead of the Warriors.
We knew. We saw the O.
CJ, we know.
We knew.
We know lots of things.
Yes.
You still need to spell things right. For a professional operation, we can know all kinds of things. I was like, my God, two on the same graphic.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, I remember back in the day, maybe this is part of it is because ESPN isn't carrying the World Series. But back in the day, man, you would have like blowout coverage of the World Series. Mm-hmm. Like it'd be, you'd have even if they weren't carrying it, they'd have the anchor desk there and they'd have people. And you'd go for like 10, 15 minutes of like analysis and here's what happened here. Here's the interviews and all. There wasn't like, it was barely bigger than the NBA's regular season opener on the highlights. There were probably more time spent on the highlights of the openers than there were for the World Series. Like it just does not feel. I mean, the ratings are going to be much bigger, obviously, but just from a sports world, like the attention that it's getting, it really feels like the World Series, at least in the waters that I swim in, just kind of. It's just kind of there, like it's happening, but it's not the overwhelming like when you have the Super Bowl. It's not the overwhelming thing when you have even the NBA Finals. They're just overwhelming. This doesn't feel overwhelming to me.
I think a part of that is because there is a legitimate other 24-hour sports news station, and so ESPN is trying to freeze them out. Trying not to give the stuff that ESPN doesn't have, that Fox has. I think ESPN is trying to not cover it with the same amount of fervor as they have in the past. Sure, in the past, it's been on other networks, but those networks that it was on weren't 24-hour networks like ESPN. So because they're in direct competition with one another, I don't believe ESPN is trying to give the World Series any more shine than what is necessary.
Maybe so. It's weird. But in any event, so watching that, but around here, I'm guessing most folks. What do you think the ratio of people watching Grizzlies opener versus World Series?
65-35 Grizzlies.
Mm-hmm.
65-35.
I think it's at least that. Yeah.
With 10 to 15 of that 65-35 flipping back and forth, but more time spent on the Grizzlies.
Yeah, they certainly would have flipped over about 8:30 when the Grizzlies were getting housed.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that on the other side because the Grizzlies did open the season with a loss, and it was weird. No Mike Conley, of course, he's been traded, and he started his season absolutely terribly with the Jazz. I mean, one of his worst games ever. The Jazz still beat the Thunder. Conley goes 1 of 16 from the field. Could not make anything. I mean, brutal. But Donovan Mitchell went supernova next to him, and they did enough to beat a feisty Thunder team that's they're going to be a little tougher to deal with. I'm not saying they're going to make the playoffs, but they're going to be tougher to deal with than a lot of people thought, as long as they stay relatively healthy. Chris Paul, Gilgeous-Alexander was fantastic. Gallinari, Steven Adams still, can play. Decent bench. Schroeder's been better. That's going to be a tough team to deal with, at least compared to some of the other. You're just driving.
What's going on? Hey,
I've got no idea what that is.
What
was that something on the computer?
Are we driving? Driving through?
Let's get it.
That was. Okay. I was like, what in the world?
Okay. All right. Nobody panic.
I think that may have been from that side. The novels.
Everybody stay cool.
I'm out. I die first.
Everybody stay cool, guys. Everybody stay cool. It's gonna be okay, CJ.
Peace out.
CJ, whoa, no, don't go. Don't leave me here by myself.
You better come out. We can go. We got a break.
Let's take the break. All right, let's come back. We'll figure this out here in the Hour Power brought to you. That sounds like a diesel engine from Mid-South Power Distributors, honestly. Because the Mid-South Power Distributors is great. I gotta talk about Mid-South Power Distributors. They're great folks. What are you talking?
They're wonderful.
They're wonderful people. That sounded like one of those engines right there. It did.
Yes.
If you got diesel engines, you've got diesels in your workforce. You got diesels at home. You want work to be done. Go Mid-South Power Distributors. That's where it goes on Mill Branch. Go and check it out. They've got not the only, but one of the only in-shop dynos to let you know what's going on with your engine. Of course, they got all the parts that you need for those of you that are working on them. Whatever has to do with diesel, they have got you covered. Mid-South Power Distributors. That's why this is the Hour of Power. They bring you the power. Mid-South Power Distributors. Let's go. figure out. Let's get those engines and figure out what's going on over there. We'll come back. Lots more to get to as we continue on The Experience. Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Listen online anywhere, anytime at sports56whbq.com.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, not for sale to minors. Website restricted to adults 21 and over.
I'd been smoking for a while. I tried vaping when it first came out. It just didn't work for me. But recently, I tried My Blue, and it actually gave me the nicotine satisfaction I was looking for. My Blue is easy to use, and it lasts all day. I even like having the different flavors and nicotine options. It's nice having a choice. I think other smokers will be surprised by My Blue. I certainly was.
And right now, try My Blue for $1 at select retailers or myblue.com.
Welcome back to Amazon Prime one-day delivery trivia. Now to the next question. Susan and Tom just ordered a party-sized bag of candy, a piñata, and a karaoke machine for their kid's 8th birthday party, all using Amazon Prime one-day delivery. Assuming there are 10 rambunctious kids at the party, what else will she need to order in one day? Adam.
Aspirin?
Correct. Introducing one-day delivery from Amazon Prime. Order from millions of items. Tranquility delivered.
Hi, folks. Rob Walker, Infinity of Memphis, and we've got a new Infinity crossover vehicle that has raised the standard of comparison to a new level. Imagine having both sports car performance and eco-friendly efficiency on demand, working together to empower every driving experience. The result of 20 years of engineering, QX50's award-winning variable compression turbo engine is the world's only engine of its kind. Like two engines in one, it delivers a combination of power and efficiency that is truly in a category all its own, and only Infinity has it. You'll never sacrifice performance for the sake of efficiency again. And the new QX50 offers more horsepower than its Audi, Lexus, and Mercedes competitors. Add to that QX50's award-winning sumptuous interior, and you have the best combination of performance and comfort in the mid-size crossover segment.
Infinity of Memphis and online at infinityofmemphis.com.
Get your gun, Nelly, and saddle up Penelope. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 700 new Buicks and GMC trucks, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 500 in stock. Branch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone, and remember, you can bring your car to Sunrise Service no matter where you bought it. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you put one of your brand on these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon. Western Trading Days going on now at all 3 Sunrise locations. We make it fun to buy a car again.
This is Jason Mott. Join me November 9th downtown at the Column for our 8th annual Jason Mott Foundation Cornhole Challenge. Doors open at 6. For tickets and more information, click the events tab at jasonmottfoundation.org. Looking forward to seeing you out there, and let's strike out cancer.
Scott Graham here from Westwood One with a Thursday Night Football preview. Coming up from Minneapolis, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings play host to Adrian Peterson and the Washington Redskins. Head coach Mike Zimmer's Vikings are 5-2 and on a 3-game win streak.
I thought Kirk had a heck of a ball game, made some great throws. Defensively, we had way too many penalties, and I obviously didn't do a good enough job preparing him for some of the passing game. So we got to clean that up, get ready in a short week. But it was a darn good win on the road. We keep finding ways to win, different ways to win, and that's important for us.
Washington fell to the 49ers last week. Mike Tirico and Tony Baselli will have the call of the Redskins at the Vikings on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
At AutoZone, it's never been easier to start your job. Just visit AutoZone.com. With our free same-day store pickup, you can grab the part today. And with our free next-day delivery, you can have it delivered tomorrow. So no matter the job, you can get it done in no time. And now's the time to replace your wipers and make sure you can see the road crystal clear. Get a $10 AutoZone gift card by mail when you buy 2 Bosch Icon wiper blades. Free next-day delivery on eligible orders over $35. Restrictions and details at AutoZone.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Hi there, Saver. Looking for a Medicare plan to help you save on more than just prescriptions? Medicare Advantage plans may offer prescription drug, medical, and hospital coverage. Walgreens is a preferred network pharmacy with many Medicare Advantage plans, including United Healthcare. So when you enroll in a plan with Walgreens as your preferred pharmacy, you know you're saving smartly. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Other plans may be accepted.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour of the Experience is brought to you by Mid-South Power Distributors. All things diesel for over 26 years. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Oh, Tina Nutbush. Let's go. Let's get it.
This is a jam right here.
Who is she, CJ?
I'm thinking is she Queen of Rock?
Queen of Soul.
Queen. Is she?
She's not the Queen of Soul.
She's not the Queen of Soul.
No, she's Queen of Pop.
Queen of Pop.
Icona Pop.
What? What's wrong with you?
I don't care. I love it. So that's long. Those that get it will get it. I appreciate it. Now, here we go.
Where?
To Miami.
Oh.
Where the Grizzlies played last night.
Wait, we get to go to Miami this morning?
I wish. That would be awesome.
Sign me up.
That would be amazing. But no, we do not get to go down to Miami, but we can, figuratively speaking, go to Miami because the Grizzlies played last night against the Heat and they lost. It was a regular season opener, and it was 1 of 82, but the Grizzlies lost it, and they will lose a lot of them. So this is just kind of welcome to the season.
You don't got to lean in so hard.
What was y'all's official? Did y'all give an official prediction of win losses this year?
I don't think I gave. I don't know that. Here's can I give you just a real quick little deal here? So they're going to lose a lot of games. That means
that's a good prediction.
That means they're not going to win very many. Now, as to the specific about what they're betting, unless I'm betting the over/under, I don't really care. Like we'll find out at the end of the season, like what teams are going to be. They'll be taking on teams that are probably going to be in the playoffs or not in the playoffs, and maybe playing some young players. There's all sorts of stuff that will affect the last month of the season, and that will change the win total. So they will play as if they are about a 25 win team. So whether that leads to actually 25 wins or 28 or 30 or 22, there'll be luck and all sorts of factors will come into play there. But you can't give yourself you can't worry too much about all that. Like you got to just don't lock into that prediction all heavily. Anyway, you got a prediction now?
Nope.
Based on that?
Nope.
Okay. You think they're going to lose a lot of games, though, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, I think so, too. They lost this one last night. No Jimmy Butler, who missed because of a unnamed personal issue. I think he just wanted to watch the World Series personally, but
that was the issue.
That was the issue. Okay. He's like, my issue is the World Series is on.
Yeah.
That's an issue. So that was a personal issue for him. He missed the game. It did not ultimately matter. Justice Winslow was really good in this game, 27.7 rebounds, 7 assists. Kendrick Nunn. Kendrick Nunn, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay. I'm glad that you said his name twice because I had no clue who that person was before last night.
I mean, well, listen, he had a great preseason for the Heat. He dropped 40 in their preseason finale.
Yep.
And he dropped 24 on the Grizzlies. He is a rookie out of Oakland.
Yep. Second in the nation that year in scoring behind Trae Young.
Let me tell you something. He was really good in his NBA debut.
Oh, well.
Better than the Grizzlies' rookie Ja Morant.
Okay.
I don't know if he's better than Brandon Clark, but that's a different story. We'll get to that later on. He was better than Ja Morant, and he was better than a lot of players on the court. He was really good. Bam Adebayo, just 24 minutes, 14 points, 11 rebounds for him. And off the bench, he just was Goran Dragic making a bunch of shots and getting fouled a ton. Grizzlies, let me give you the quick and dirty on this one, CJ. They were led by Jaren Jackson Jr., who had 17 points. I think it was more of an encouraging performance from Jaren, even in spite of the 0 for 6 from 3. That wasn't so encouraging, but he looked much more like himself. There's that for all the good and the bad that can provide. He looked better than he did in the preseason. So.
Can I hop in here? Or are you still going through the quick and dirty?
Let me give you the quick.
Okay,
then you hop away.
Gotcha.
You got
boing boing.
That's right. Ja Morant in his debut, just 25 minutes because of foul issues, and also he didn't play very well. 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 turnovers for Jonas Valanciunas returned and was awful. 7 points from Jonas, just 1 rebound, 5 fouls, 3 turnovers, and 1 poster that he provided to Derek Jones Jr., who got him good under the basket. Jay Crowder, 13 points. Dylan Brooks, just the 7 points on only 18 minutes with 5 fouls. He struggled with the fouls. These referees were awful last night. That's a separate issue. I mean, that's not why the Grizzlies lost or anything. It was just a terrible game. They called 50,000 travels. They called every foul possible. It was not a fun watch from that perspective. Brandon Clark, I think, was the brightest spot of the night, other than maybe Tyus Jones for the Grizzlies. He looked every bit what you would expect based on his preseason performance, and 8 points, 7 rebounds, a block. He played excellent defense, hit a 3, which he hadn't done. He hadn't even taken a 3 in preseason, so that's a promising thing for him. He only played 23 minutes, which was a little bit of a surprise. So that's kind of the quick and dirty. Grizzlies shot 43% for the field, but only 15.6% from 3. 5 of 32. And in fact, CJ, if you'd like me to break that down even further for you,
I would. I'd love to get it broken down.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy.
We need breakdown music.
I'd be happy to go ahead and break that down for you. The Grizzlies within 5 feet, 0 to 5 feet, were 25 of 38.
Oh.
Which is quite good, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or 25 of 37, excuse me. That's 68%. But from 6 feet and beyond, 6 feet is not a lot. 6 feet and beyond, 13 of 52 shooting. That'd be 25%.
Oh!
So anything outside of 5 feet, they shot 25%. And Jaren Jackson and John Morant combined for 1 for 10 outside of 5 feet.
Let that Mother Nature fly, man.
Well, they let it fly, all right. And then it bricked, and then they let it fly again. And it bricked again, and then they just let it fly again, and it bricked again. So now, the floor is yours.
Jaren looked better. How much of that is being paired with Jonas? And does this mean now that we know for the foreseeable future, Jaren needs that type of big to play alongside with so he can reach his on-court potential?
Short answer, yes.
Okay.
Long answer, depends on him, how he develops and his physicality and all that stuff. But he looked better even in the times on the court when like Brandon Clark was alongside of him than he did in the preseason. So maybe he got a boost from that. But I would say short answer, yeah, he's going to look more comfortable as a 4 with a big next to him.
Could Brandon Clark be a 5? You keep Jaren at the 4 to keep him comfortable.
You would have to. It would depend on the personnel on the other side. If a team goes particularly small, then maybe. But Brandon Clark, the lack of size at the true 5 is going to be problematic.
Mm-hmm.
He's just under 6'8" and about 210 pounds. And if there's anybody with any kind of physicality inside, we saw it against like LaMarcus Aldridge in the preseason, but you could pick your guy. That guy's probably going to be able to have his way with Clark unless they cross match defensively, which they can do, and sometimes they'll end up with switches and stuff, so it's possible, but I think that might get complicated for a young team to kind of figure out some of those nuances. So probably better just to not do that right now.
Okay.
I wouldn't think.
Guduric and Allen.
Guduric.
Yeah. I'm going to get it eventually.
No, you got it. That was good.
And Allen.
I just like saying it.
They also like struggled from 3, and I don't know why I feel like those should be the
Guduric was good.
2 shooters.
Guduric was good. He was 4 of 8 from the field. He's 0 of 3 from 3, but he was good. He was a plus in the game. He actually he drove to the basket, like he made some good plays. Grayson Allen was I mean, awful. Real bad. I can't believe he played as much as he did, honestly.
First game, new uniform, new role, new responsibility. Grayson was a 2-way player last year, if I'm not mistaken. So
no, he wasn't. It wasn't.
Was it?
He just played. He just went down to the.
He went down there. Went down to the developmental league. So maybe it was, hey, let's just see if he'll play himself out of it. He needs that. He needs time to play through it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, that could well be, but it was not good. The early evidence was not promising there at all. Guduric, at least, he looked as though he had some juice, which was nice. He made some moves. He's got a very sneaky little handle. Three times already in his young career has he like crossed somebody over and caught him, like got him. It's wild. Like I did not expect this. He's sneaky athletic.
Well, we didn't see this guy. He's from across an ocean. We hadn't seen him play, so he walks out on the court and it is up. My man's is a shooter, and that sneakiness comes out, and he gets them. When more film gets out there, let's see if he continues that sneaky athleticism trend.
Well, who knows? D'Anthony Melton made his Grizzly debut at the very end in garbage time, but this thing was all about the fourth quarter. I mean, the fourth quarter got away from the Grizzlies, and I think this is going to happen, CJ. Like, I mean, it was very encouraging to see the Grizzlies, who led the majority of the first three quarters, and really were worth it. They were good. They were good. They were
earned it.
They earned it. They were value for their lead. Like, that was the way that was supposed to be. What was discouraging was at the beginning of the fourth quarter, they just gotta proverbially drop the rope. Like, they just stopped playing. And that is concerning. It's a young team, and these things can happen. But when an NBA, and kind of what happened against Charlotte in the preseason a little bit, and Charlotte, by the way, very impressive performance from them. But it can happen with a young team. But like, they just stopped playing. Like, they were making terrible decisions. Defense was completely out of the window. Guys were just fly. The principles they just forgotten all of them, and that's where they got to it was a 23-3 run at one point. They shot like, I don't know, 20% in the fourth quarter, something crazy, like just brutal stuff. So like, with you're a young team, you're going to lose games and stuff, but like, that's the part that's a little bit concerning. That you don't want to be embarrassed out there. That was an embarrassing sequence of like, they could not play. So like, you got to find a way to, okay, yeah, we're going to give up some shots. Yeah. Okay. But let's keep it together, and let's not just let everything go out the window in that sequence. And that's kind of what happened.
On the road, pretty good environment from what I saw. Looked like it was sold out. I'm not sure if it was or not. You need a player to stop the bleeding. So fourth quarter, home team, jumps all over you, gets out 11-0, 11-2, 11-1 run, whatever it was initially. There's got to be somebody who you can give the ball to and say, hey, get us a bucket and calm us down on the defensive side of the ball. And the Grizzlies right now don't have that, because the person who that will be in the future is so young. And that's a skill in and of itself, to be able to identify and sense and feel the momentum swinging and feel the dam about to break, and to have the courage and the ability to take a shot, to end a run, and to get a big stop on defense so that your team can flip it and your team goes on a run. The Grizzlies don't have a veteran who can do that, a veteran with that type of talent, and their young talent is young. And it takes a while. That's part of that crafty NBA veteran mentality that you need developed, and the only way you can get that is by going through it. So we're, like you said, we're going to see a lot of this type of stuff happening, where the Grizzlies play really well for 2 quarters, 2.5, 3 quarters, and then the dam just breaks and gives way because they don't have that person who can help them when it begins to start rolling downhill.
Yeah, I mean that's really the truth of it. Like, there's no go-to guy. There's no go-to scorer. There's no go-to run stopper. There's nobody out there that can do that right now.
Yeah,
Jaren, maybe eventually can get to that point. But yeah, I think you saw how bereft of talent the Grizzlies are at the wing position. Like, there is just nobody. I mean, with respect to Dylan Brooks, maybe Guduric turns into something. Maybe Allen turns into something. Again, all the more reason why it's imperative for this team. In my mind, I mean, really more important now than even people were discussing it earlier. whatever the situation is with Josh Jackson, whatever they have to do to get it resolved, like this team is just crying out for some size and some potential skill on the wing position. Jackson was not a very good shooter, but I mean, at least you see he could develop as an athlete into something that would be who athletically. Dylan Brooks is not a high level NBA athlete. Jay Crowder is a solid veteran, but kind of miscast as a big time player for this team and a guy that they look to like make big time shots. Like that's never really been his role. He's very much a complementary type piece. Grayson Allen looks a long way from being a legit rotation player for a good team. Goodorich is just starting out. We don't really know yet. Tyus Jones was the most effective guy. I mean, you may have to play Tyus and John Morant together and just kind of work with that. But they are really bereft of wing talent, and so Josh Jackson has a golden opportunity if he can get himself together to come in and just his athleticism is going to be a huge boost at that position, and if he could just make a few shots.
I mean, you brought it up, and when the Grizzlies acquired him, his ability, I think, in the pick and roll,
is
really
good.
He's a good
playmaker.
Good in the playmaker in the pick and roll, and so you bring again, they get it all worked out. He comes in with the right mindset and attitude, and it looks like he is working on that right now, and he has that right now. He comes in, if he's there last night, it is okay. We can go to the pick and roll with him, and we can trust him to make a play and get us an easy look.
Something. I mean, it's just I don't know. It was rough last night. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about it. We'll look around the rest of the league too, as we had the opening night. Kyrie drops 50 in a loss, including some just insane moves. Debuts for Mike Conley in Utah. We alluded to so many guys getting their start. Kemba getting his start did not go well in Philly. Lots to get to. We'll do all that when we continue here on The Experience. Peter and CJ with you, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Spend your lunch with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy on Sports 56 middays, delivered by FedEx. Weekdays from 10 to 1 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
If this were just any door, and this were just any ignition, connected to just any transmission, in just any vehicle, then perhaps it would be okay to buy it from just anyone. But this is not just any car. It's a certified pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Every detail has been inspected and road tested by highly skilled Mercedes-Benz technicians, and it's all backed by an unlimited mileage warranty, which makes the decision of where to buy one simple. Your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. The certified pre-owned sales event going on now through October 31st. Come in today and enjoy a credit of up to $1,500 towards your first two payments through Mercedes-Benz Financial Services. Because in the end, it's absolute confidence in genuine Mercedes-Benz parts, or it isn't. It's either Mercedes-Benz certified pre-owned, or it isn't.
See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer for complete details and limitations on credit towards your first 2 months payment and certified pre-owned warranties.
We could stay here forever. We deliver olives, Greek sandals, and everything you need to relive that perfect trip to the Mediterranean. But what you really get when FedEx knocks on your door is so much more.
FedEx delivery.
Memories. What we deliver by delivering.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, not for sale to minors. Website restricted to adults 21 and over.
I'd been smoking for a while. I tried vaping when it first came out. It just didn't work for me. But recently, I tried My Blue, and it actually gave me the nicotine satisfaction I was looking for. My Blue is easy to use, and it lasts all day. I even like having the different flavors and nicotine options. It's nice having a choice. I think other smokers will be surprised by My Blue. I certainly was.
And right now, try My Blue for $1 at select retailers or myblue.com.
Sundays and Mondays are special at the Butcher Shop, celebrating over 35 years of serving the Mid-South by giving a big thank you to you, their loyal customers. You can come in, relax, watch your favorite games, and enjoy hand-cut steaks along with a premium bar. Sunday and Monday nights from 5 until 8:30, you can get select entrees for $25. That includes a salad, baked potato, and bread, and you don't have to pick one, you get all three. Some of those entrees are 10-ounce New York strip steak, slow roasted prime rib, Atlantic salmon with dill sauce, marinated grilled chicken breast, grilled boneless pork chops, and crab stuffed shrimp. Plus, all appetizers and desserts are 20% off. Don't forget, Hamburger Friday every Friday from 11 to 2. It's the best. The Butcher Shop, always a Memphis tradition. Call 901-757-4244, 901-757-4244 for more information, or just stop in at 107 South Germantown Parkway in Cordova. It's hot outside, and James Davis Men's Store is filled with new deliveries that are on fire to match the fall heat. The selection of 5-pocket pants in every fabric and fit is out of control. They have denim, cotton twill, brushed cotton, and wrinkle-free travel wool. And every one with that two-way stretch that moves with you no matter what you're doing. The brand new stamped cotton shirt fabrics for fall are in. I dare you to try one. 3 measurements, 9 days. They start at $98. Perfect fit. If you're tired of being the worst dressed at the pregame party, let James Davis fit you now with a perfect fit, custom made to measure showstopper coat. It starts at $6.95. And James Davis still has the Paul Batenley suit deal. 2 incredible suits for $7.95. Wedding parties? Don't rent tuxedos. Get a perfect fit classic or trim fit that someone can wear again. James Davis Men's Store in the Laurelwood Shopping Center. Always incredible service, same day alteration, and the home of the perfect fit.
Williams Equipment Supply, your Bobcat loader and excavator dealer, stocks the widest range of Bobcat attachments such as augers, hydraulic breakers, angle brooms, sweepers, brush cat rotary cutters, hydraulic clamps, forestry cutters, pallet forks, grapples, land planes, planers, plate compactors, sod layers, soil conditioners, tillers, trenchers, and more.
This is Sam Watson, your Memphis area Bobcat specialist. Whether you're in the construction industry or ag, call me at 901-326-6429.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurts. This hour of the Experience is brought to you by Mid-South Power Distributors. All things diesel for over 26 years. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
And my heart beats so that I can hardly speak. And I seem to find the happiness I see.
Oh.
When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek.
That's pretty good.
Not bad, Peter.
That's pretty good. That's a great. I love this song.
Peter's the king of jazz. Forget me.
No, stop.
Stop. Now that is even I
blasphemous.
Cannot accept that.
Cheek to cheek.
You have to strain so much.
Almost.
You gotta. It's hard. It's hard. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he did it, man. That's why he was the king of rock.
Jazz.
Yeah. Okay. Agree to disagree.
What? I'm trying to give your dude some credit here. You're just like, nah, it's not.
Yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't need your help.
No, he doesn't.
He does not need your help.
He is doing just fine.
I can assure you of that. We were talking about the Grizzlies losing last night to the Heat. You look around the rest of the NBA, and it's a reminder, TJ, of how difficult. This was my whole logic on the Grizzlies losing, 50 million games and being one of the worst teams in basketball. You look around the rest of the NBA and the teams that you thought might be worse than the Grizzlies, and again, it's night one, so obviously there's much basketball to be played and things can change and all that.
About 81 games left.
Somewhere in that
Give or take?
Yeah. I'm not going to give or take on that one. I'm just going to say that's exactly right. But the Grizzlies next up will play the Bulls. The Bulls lost to the Hornets last night. Hornets we thought were going to be the worst or one of the worst teams, and they may well be. But, buddy, last night they put up 126 against the Bulls. And P.J. Washington,
Yeah.
27 points, 7 of 11 shooting from 3. all kinds of rookie records right out of the gate. 7 of 11. 38 minutes for P.J. Washington. Led the Hornets in scoring. Dwayne Bacon with 22. Devontae Graham, 23 points. And these guys that were giving the Grizzlies the work in preseason about a couple weeks ago, it's carried right over.
They're still giving folks the work?
And P.J. Washington, they gave the Bulls the work. They combined Devontae Graham and P.J. Washington. This is why the NBA is unpredictable. Combined 16 of 26 from the field, 13 of 18 from three for 50 points. Okay. I didn't see it coming, but all right. Bulls got 35 and 17 from Lauri Markkanen, and Zach LaVine was terrible in this game. Even though he finished 16.6 rebounds, 7 assists, not good. So Bulls coming in tomorrow. Mad, angry, upset.
Let's see what that does for them.
Let's see what that does for the Grizzlies. But the Hornets we thought would be one of the worst teams. Now the Cavs did live down to that possibility.
Oh,
getting beat 94-85 by the Magic. They looked, and then Kevin Love did play. They did look about as bad as you would have imagined. Their backcourt of Colin Sexton, Darius Garland. That's raw,
super raw. That's fitting it nice.
Raw. Jordan Clarkson off the bench, 2 of 12. Yeah.
Okay.
That's Grizzly numbers right there. And Markelle Fultz, you see him come back?
No.
Markelle Fultz looked good.
Did he? Did he shoot?
Threw down a nasty coast-to-coast dunk. I mean, nasty.
Well, we know he can do that. Did he shoot?
He did. 6 of 12 from the field.
All right.
0 of 3 from 3, but, I mean, he looked more confident. And
good.
He actually looked good. Like, he looked as close to, the Washington Markelle Fultz as we've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
He's still got a ways to go, obviously, but that was a very encouraging performance. Another team, I mean, like, again, the teams that you thought, the Wizards, like, they had a pretty rough starting lineup, and yet Bradley Beal played terribly, and they still were competitive against the Mavericks. The Mavericks, Luka was sensational, 34 points, 9 rebounds for Luka, 12 of 19 from the field. Kristaps Porzingis trying to work his way back, 7 of 16, 23 points for Porzingis, but the Mavericks got the win, and Beal got kicked out of the game.
First game of the year?
Beefing with Luka.
Kicked out?
Yep. Got kicked out.
It's going to be a long season for those Washington.
Yeah, it's going to be. He had a Grizzly-esque 1 of 11 from 3.
Wizards.
The Wizards, yes.
I was running through all the names in Washington.
Starting lineup on this, by the way, so Bradley Beal, of course. Rest of the starting lineup?
Yes.
You got Ish Smith. You got Isaac Bonga. You got Thomas Bryant, and you got Louis Hachimura, buddy. That is a starting lineup.
2 of those dudes I didn't know were still in the league.
Yep, that's a starting lineup.
All
folks.
right.
A professional basketball starting lineup. And how about those Phoenix Suns who unleashed the demon in the second half against the Kings, outscoring them 60-36 in the second half to win 124-95.
Wow.
I mean, very impressive. And guess who was impressive?
Devin Booker.
22 points, 10 assists for Devin Booker.
Wait, what?
Yes.
He had 10 assists?
He had 10 assists.
He passed the ball 10 times.
He did. Suns had 31 assists on 49 makes. Suns shot 50% from the field.
10 assists?
10 assists. DeAndre Ayton at 18 and 11.
10 assists?
10 assists. Kelly Oubre, 21 and 9.
10 assists?
10 assists. He passed the ball 10 times. To teammates that made the shots 10 times.
Forget teammates making shots, whatever. He passed it 10 times?
Listen, it's a new day.
That's just one game. Let's see if this continues.
It won't. But what a game. Let's take our break. We'll come back. Hour number 2 on the way. When we do, it'll be John Gassaway. We'll talk a little college hoops with John. That's next.
Campbell Clinic now offers daytime walk-in care, and you don't need an appointment. If you've got any kind of urgent break, sprain, strain, you can walk into any of their 5 convenient locations Monday through Friday from 8 until 4. There's no long wait you have to put up with the ER, and those doctors are really good, but they're not orthopedists. They're not world-renowned orthopedists who have come up with different procedures and written the manuals for them that are used everywhere in the world, and I'm not kidding you. And you can now see those doctors who treat the Tigers, the Grizzlies, the Redbirds. You can see them today without an appointment, and I'm talking Collierville, Germantown, South Haven, downtown at the Med Center, or even the Campbell Clinic Spine Center in Cordova. Now, if you've got something pressing, you got to go to work, and you can bear the pain until the evening, there's Campbell Clinic After Hours. That's Monday through Thursday from 5 to 8 in Germantown, South Haven, even Saturday morning in Germantown. If you're injured, don't wait. Visit Campbell Clinic Walk-In Care or Campbell Clinic After Hours.
Get your gun, Nellie, and saddle up Penelope. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 700 new Buicks and GMC trucks, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 500 in stock. Branch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone, and remember, you can bring your car to Sunrise Service no matter where you bought it. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you put one of your brand on these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon. Western Trading Days going on now at all 3 Sunrise locations. We make it fun to buy a car again.
Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical, not for sale to minors. Website restricted to adults 21 and over.
I'd been smoking for a while. I tried vaping when it first came out. It just didn't work for me. But recently, I tried My Blue, and it actually gave me the nicotine satisfaction I was looking for. My Blue is easy to use, and it lasts all day. I even like having the different flavors and nicotine options. It's nice having a choice. I think other smokers will be surprised by My Blue. I certainly was.
And right now, try My Blue for $1 at select retailers or myblue.com.
Hewlett & Dunn, nestled on Old Town Square in Collierville, has 4,000 square feet of the largest boot selection in 200 miles. International boot legends Luke Casey, Double H, Red Wing, Ariat, Justin, and Tony Lama. Hewlett & Dunn has rubber hunting boots by Dry Shod, and recently has expanded the selection of safety work boots. Filson Hunting Gear, biggest selection in 3 states, and now carrying Duckhead. Western wear, hunting attire, jeans, belts, hats, and more at 111 North Center Street, Collierville on Old Town Square. You need to stop by Hewlett & Dunn? You bet your boots.
Are you almost 65 years old? Time flies, doesn't it? Well, Medicare enrollment is coming up, and you have some decisions to make. The problem? It can be totally confusing. Medicare Part A and Part B, Medigap Plan F versus Plan G. The alternatives practically run the alphabet. Pick the wrong thing, and you may pay more than you have to. Relax. Call eHealth. We have over 20 years of insurance experience and offer Medicare supplement plans from several of the largest insurance companies. Our licensed insurance agents are well equipped to offer solutions that may maximize your savings. We can help you with questions about coverage for your doctor, pharmacy, hospital, medical care, and prescription drug costs. We can also help you check if dental, vision, and hearing coverage are available. So, you can make a big fat guess or call eHealth now for a free consultation. There's no obligation to enroll, so call now. 800-MEDIGAP. 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 This is an insurance ad for eHealth, a licensed insurance agency not affiliated with Medicare or any government agency. This ad is not for Minnesota or Texas consumers.
125 seasons of Ole Miss football.
By Duke, he may go.
Under
Dexter
center.
breaks a tackle. Mike Wallace between 2 defenders.
The tradition continues.
He's to the end zone. Touchdown, Ole Miss. Breaks a tackle. He's gone down the sideline. Touchdown, Ole Miss. He is a beast.
On your home for the Rebels.
Sports 56, 96.1 and 87.7 FM.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Little child running wild, watch a while. You see, he never smiled. Broken home, father gone, mama tired. So he's all alone.
Come on. I mean, this is good, man.
It is. Very good. Very good. I'm trying to figure, because the theme today is royalty of music. Mm-hmm. Trying to figure out.
Oh. King of funkiness? King of I don't know, king of just Just feel it. It feels good.
Austin, what is this?
Curtis Mayfield, king
of what?
Hang on, let me find him.
Curtis Mayfield. What do you have to find on Curtis Mayfield?
R&B King is what they have listed at.
King of R&B. Okay. All right.
I'll allow it.
I mean, you don't get to decide who's royalty, Peter.
Oh, I think that's where you're wrong, my friend. No. I think I am
the jester does not get to decide who to call king and queen.
Sometimes it's only the jester that can speak truth to power. CJ, remember that.
Whatever, Peter.
In the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is king. And the jester speaks truth. Just gonna speak in little syllogisms.
You're just King Learing it over here?
That's right.
Okay.
Why every day is a good day to King Lear it.
No, it's not. Absolutely no day is a good day to King Lear this thing.
Fair enough. Welcome back as we continue hour number 2 of the program, and we're bringing you all kinds of stuff here on Sports 86, 96.1, 87.7, and we bring in a true professor, since we are delving into the academic realms here from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
Our professor, good friend of the program. He is, of course, on Twitter at John Gassaway. He's on ESPN Insider and all over the place, and indeed standing in front of a bunch of students of rapt attention. He is John Gassaway joining us. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you all?
We are
well, John.
We are well, and we are excited because I know tonight, speaking for the University of Memphis, is the opener, the exhibition opener. CBU will be the opponent, aka the victim, I would imagine, of what's going to happen for the Tigers tonight. But listen,
talking trash already.
Well, you never know. You never know. CBU did beat Josh Pastner's Tigers at one that in an exhibition game.
Mm-hmm.
That did not go over well locally. But this is a different Tiger bunch. We've talked about this in seasons past, but I think it's even more relevant now with the Tigers being who they are and comprised of so many talented freshmen. How do you go about setting your expectation levels for freshmen as you make your projections about what's going to happen this year?
See, the first thing is I give this game the proper respect. This is a trap game. This is like Lemoyne annually with Syracuse. People don't realize this, but there really isn't even an institution of higher learning called Lemoyne. It's just this team that comes out every October 30-something and beats Syracuse in the Carrier Dome. So Jim Boeheim can say, "Oh, my team isn't good," and he gets their attention. So we don't want that to happen with Memphis. They've got to give this the proper focus. And as we've discussed, it's tough when if they were just all these Tigers were talented, then we'd know what to project. Or if they were all freshmen, we'd know what to project the other way. But they're all talented freshmen, and history doesn't give us many examples. So I'm on the record as thinking top 25 and contention for an American title. But even in all seriousness, even with these early season spectacles, we can learn from these, and the thing that you can learn most is not necessarily how good the team will be because of the opponent, but I am interested to see who gets how much of the workload on offense. That's the real thing that stays constant, even in the preseason. The people who are getting I was looking at that closely with Duke last year, for instance, when they had some tour up to Canada that nobody was paying any attention to in June or July. That told me right away who was going to be carrying a heavy load. So I do watch things like that with Memphis, and I'll be interested to see what we learn.
Quentin Grimes has been cleared by the NCAA to play immediately, so he'll be out there playing guard for Houston. For those who don't know, Grimes left Kansas last May, and he chose Houston over Texas A&M. He was a former McDonald's All-American. What does that do for the Houston Cougars?
It gives them a higher ceiling in terms of potential in the immediate here and now. It doesn't do as much as we want to think it does when we hear the words McDonald's All-American, because Grimes was fine, but he wasn't a game changer for Kansas last year. So he needs to show us something additional, something more than what we've seen so far. That can very often happen with McDonald's All-Americans, but we have to wait and see. It's impressive that Houston, before they found out that they were having Grimes, as we discussed on this last week, they were already picked to be co-champion along with Memphis. So, this is another bit of wind in their sails. But again, as we've said, I think the key figure on that team is Calvin Sampson and what he's been able to do with the program. This does give him another body, more depth, and specifically more talent. Grimes was named a McDonald's All-American for a reason, and we trust that he'll develop into that at some point. It could be as early as this season.
As you guys have made your fearless predictions on the Big 12 in your prediction series, that is today for those that want to check that out. And the most pressing question, of course, is Kansas. What in the world will this season look like for them? How will they deal with all of this stuff that is surrounding them? Bill Self has been somewhat defiant and maybe a little self-effacing at the Big 12 media days. John, how does this affect your projection of the conference overall?
You mean the fact that Kansas is in hot water off the court?
The scrutiny that they will face, and the water is indeed a little bit hot, as I understand.
Yeah, I mean, we won't see any of that on the court. I mean, Bill Self is hot under the collar, and he should be. And there is medium to not so long-term jeopardy in terms of the program, but on the floor, they've got who they've got, and they're eligible for now, and they're healthy, and they're really good. I also just want to point out that when we do this Big 12 discussion, I picture Texas Tech over. Hello, over here.
weren't we in the title game? Everybody.
We were just 14 seconds away from a national title, and everybody's talking about Kansas already.
That's right. We had a guy drafted sixth. Anybody? Yeah. No, nobody. Newman? No, nobody. Okay.
So I do want to give due props to Texas Tech. The fact they lost so much is the reason that I do move on and do pick Kansas. That Big 12 preview that you spoke of with my colleagues, that was by far the most agreement you'll ever see between us in terms of predicted order of finish. That was downright boring. Most of the time we're all over the map, but everybody pretty much agrees on the Big 12. So get over there, everybody, to ESPN.com. There's a plug for you, and see what we think of the Big 12.
One other thing that just jumps up in the Big 12, and it's one that you guys address, is Shaka Smart just like, is he not as good a coach as we thought? Is he just been dreadfully unlucky? Has he? He certainly is. I would say underperformed and underachieved relative to the sky-high expectations that faced him 4 years ago. Where do you stand on Shaka Smart?
He's been unlucky. I mean, he's lost two one-possession games in the round of 64. During his tenure, and then last year he missed entirely, which was with what was probably the strongest team he's had yet in Austin. But they were unable to get a bid, rightfully. I think they had 16 losses on Selection Sunday, if I'm remembering correctly, and that's not going to get it done. So they said thank you very much, and they marched and they won the NIT, which was reflective of how good they were. I'm a little leery of the one and done model for like one guy or at most two guys at a program outside of the usual suspects. I'm just not sure, that is the way to go. The talent churns quickly, a little too quickly. And especially with big men, you're not always getting the return that people expect you to get because, my gosh, this person's a lottery pick, and everybody knows that and then they just play 1 year and they're gone. That is part of the expectation, surrounding Shaka Smart. You've got all this talent, and look what's happening. It's like good recruiting is actually a bad thing in this model. And Texas has performed pretty much to their standard as far as a program, but it is true that once upon a time we saw this coach win an incredible 5 NCAA tournament games because they were in the round of 68 on his way to the Final Four, and that's not going to happen every year. I'm bullish on Texas this year. They were better possession for possession than people tended to realize last year, and they bring back a good amount of experience. But people are definitely watching him, and it would be a good idea to not only get to the tournament, but win a game or two this time.
Preseason rankings came out earlier this week. Michigan State was number 1. They got some bad news yesterday when they announced that, we got bad news for Michigan State, then when they announced that Joshua Langford is going to miss significant time. How big of a loss is that for the Spartans?
It would be more helpful to have him. Now, we did see Michigan State do what they did largely last year without Langford, and they've got enough as is to get the job done, starting and especially with Cassius Winston. So that team last year was one of the best shooting offenses that you will see, and they were particularly good inside the arc. Langford is not going to be able to add much there. It's possible that we could see more of the same from Michigan State, even without Langford this year. It was a little fuzzy with the announcement in terms of just what we're seeing. If they're if they're being strategic and playing it safe, or if there's something more troublesome happening here. I would feel a lot better about, number 1 seeds and Big Ten championships and things like that if they were at full strength, including Langford, by the time the conference season rolled around, although now with the Big Ten, conference season starts right away with a couple games. But I mean the league play for real starting in January. It is slightly concerning. Still a great team and a strong rotation, but it would be even better with Langford.
How would you go about picking preseason All-American teams? Cassius Winston, Marcus Howard, Jordan Nwora, Miles Powell, and yes, James Wiseman, who has not dribbled a basketball on any college basketball floor in an actual game, is a preseason All-American. You could hear, I'm sure, in the tone of my voice, John, how I feel about preseason anything, and especially All-American teams. How would one even go about doing this?
Preseason things are fun, man. Don't crush our buzz, all right?
How come we don't do this in the NBA, like the preseason All-NBA team? Why don't we do that?
I don't know. I mean, they should, start one up.
Preseason All-Star.
It's something we get to point and laugh at, and I don't mean in March. I mean just in a couple of weeks.
Right.
I mean, with Zion last year, he was second team All ACC.
That's right.
All ACC. And then he plays one game against Kentucky.
You're like, oh my God, we've made a terrible mistake.
I love that. That's college basketball. You don't get that in the NBA because although I don't know now that one and done is going away, I guess it's possible that players will arrive in the NBA as kind of unknown quantities. But I mean, they're really unknown quantities in college. I kind of like the mystery that lends excitement to me to an otherwise season of basketball in November that's a long way from March. I mean, the whole point is, okay, now let's see James Wiseman in an actual college basketball game. Read the scouting reports, looked at YouTube. Yeah, I got it. Okay, let me sit down and watch this guy in real time. I like that. And then once we see that, we start adjusting all of those preseason All-American and All-Conference teams dramatically. I think it's a cool feature that the college basketball has is the embrace of the unknown.
What is going to be, or to using your best judgment, because we, again, haven't seen any of these teams play yet, what's going to be the best conference, or some of the best conferences, better conferences in college basketball this year?
Yeah, the Big 12 gets a statistical advantage because it's so darn small. The Big East is equally small, but they've usually got a problem with the ninth or especially 10th teams, whereas the Big 12 tends to be stronger, 1 through 10. So they usually win the statistical battle. I'm not sure that we're going to see top of any conference to equal what the ACC did rather incredibly, I think, last year with eventual national champion Virginia, whom nobody was talking about at the time. The team we were talking about was Duke, and oh, by the way, North Carolina was also incredible. So I'm not sure that any conference has an elite to match what we saw there, but I do expect the Big 12 to rank number one on top to bottom strength as far as what the laptops are telling us this season.
I would encourage everyone to go to check out John's piece on the best players to wear each number in college basketball. It's a excellent piece, the kind of piece that you like to just.
Thank you, Peter.
Well, yeah, it's fun because you sit and you kind of like think about, oh yeah, I remember that guy. Oh yeah, that guy. Oh yeah, there's a lot of memories jogged from some of the names, and you see some of the trends of the numbers too. Certain numbers have become very popular, like number 1 for Zion, for example, and certain numbers have fallen out of favor for whatever reason. I think people will be shocked at who number 23, the best one to ever wear it, is. Okay, they won't actually.
Here's a fun fact.
Actually, they won't. But
all of the players that are listed as "quote unquote" the greatest ever to wear numbers 1 and 2. There used to be a prohibition on those because you could be signaling 1 or 2 shots on a foul. So when you go, number 2, greatest ever, Russ Smith.
Russ Smith is the greatest ever to wear number 2.
He's not Michael. There's a reason for that. The number's only been available for about 15 years or so. So yeah.
That's why I thought it was. What were the things that you learned in your research for doing this piece? Again, check it out. It's well worth checking out.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
What'd you learn?
Oh, what did I learn? Oh, I'm sorry. I learned that there's never been a great player with the number 51. I was looking, and I was thinking, this is one of these pieces where, like, the second I hit post, the internet will erupt with, well, what about Michael Jordan wore, 51 as a sophomore, you idiot, don't you? Yeah. and nothing. It was crickets. There in 90 years of college basketball where there have been numbers on jerseys, no great player has ever won. No great player has ever worn the number 51. It has never happened. Fab Mello is about as good as it gets.
Oof. And that is
oof.
That is oof is former Grizzly Fab Mello. Yikes.
So if you want to write your name in the record books, never mind 33. You're not even going to come close, or 23 or 32. Those are the legends. Take number. I mean, I could wear number 51 and run out there right now. I would be one of the best ever to wear that number. It's a field of opportunity. Go for it.
I hope that you will. What's the number that was the most difficult to decide? There are the 32, 33, 34 area. There are just nothing but All-Americans and superstars making up those.
Yeah, well, and the other thing that people got wound up about is, one-and-done type players or even 2-year players versus 4-year players who, compile incredible career stats. So I tried to be balanced on those choices, and invariably, when you choose a 4-year career player, people are like, incredibly talented 1 or 2 year guy is a better talent, which is true, and went on to have a better, NBA career, which is true. And then when you choose that guy, people are like, no way. Pete Maravich scored, 8 times as many points as Michael Jordan, which is true. And I made the point. Pete Maravich is the greatest, second best jersey number player of all time. There can be no, better player, but the fashionable thing to say is that, Jordan in college Jordan in college actually was fantastic. He was great, so it was a tough choice, but some good online discussions, and if I had it to do over again, I'd extend back just a little bit farther to the 1980s. I had no idea that certain players from 30, 35 years ago still have ardent fans who are ready to descend on you like a Visigoth if you overlook them in 2019.
That is that is the kind of entrenched, really ridiculous grudge holding that makes college sports beautiful. That's really what it's all about. I will warn Memphis fans that John, for number 24, picked Buddy Hield as opposed to Keith Lee. So if you want to go ahead and descend as a Visigoth.
But I listed Keith Lee.
You did, but I'm just saying that's not going to be enough.
Derek Rose, Chris Douglas Roberts. There's a lot of Tigers there. Yep. Go to it. ESPN.com. Yeah.
And I will also say too, for not only our friend Austin, but others, that Johnny Newman is appreciated in the piece as well. So
Johnny Reb.
That's right. Johnny Reb and a Memphis folk know Johnny very, very well indeed. So a wonderful guy, and we mourn his loss. Now that's where we are.
The greatest ever, by the way. I mean,
that's what I'm saying. He's right there, number 14. Boom.
Yeah, he is not just listed. I mean, he is the top guy for one of the only 37 numbers available. So yeah, big deal.
Not too shabby. I'm trying to keep him off. I'm trying to keep him off of you, John. That's the big thing. I'm just trying to help.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
This is for you, buddy. Thank you so much. Great stuff. We'll talk again next week, and we are almost there.
Almost there. Can't wait.
So close. Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
John Gassaway, at John Gassaway on Twitter. You can follow him and again read. He's got all those pieces, but that the number piece was really interesting. Like there were so many internal debates, like, okay, man, and you get to, 32, like 30, 32, 33,
34.
But here's 33. You got Lou Alcindor, who won.
Okay, as well he
beat
should.
out Magic Johnson.
Oh.
Larry Bird.
Oh.
Patrick Ewing.
What?
Shaquille O'Neal.
What?
Antoine Jameson, Grant Hill, Alonzo Mourning, Cassie Russell, Clark Kellogg, Hersey Hawkins. What? Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. 32 wasn't quite as good, but it was still very good. Bill Walton, Christian Laettner, who was an amazing. Christian Laettner was an incredible college player, as much as he's, very credible after that. Richard Hamilton, Julius Erving, Jimmer Fredette, Joe Smith, Sidney Moncrief, Sean Elliott, Stacey Augman. These are all like, even to like Wally Zerbiak, who was phenomenal. 34, Hakeem Olajuwon was the winner.
Okay.
Of course. But Charles Barkley, Austin Carr, Lynn Bias, Paul Pierce, Corliss Williamson, Ray Allen. Kenny Walker, Xavier McDaniel, John Barnhill, Reggie Williams, and even guys like Devin Harris and Miles Simon. Those numbers are just incredible.
Brutal.
Yeah. So it's like I said, it's stuff like that you read and you're like, wow, man, I forgot all about this. This is really cool. So check it out on ESPN.com. John does great stuff. Let's take that break. We'll come back here on Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Take Sports 56 with you on your phone or tablet. Download our official Sports 56 app today.
Upon official review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
We deliver jerseys, funny foam fingers, and everything you need to get ready for the game. But what you really get when FedEx knocks on your door is so much more.
FedEx Delivery.
Game day spirit. What we deliver by delivering.
Mid-South Power Distributors is your source for all things diesel. Their newly renovated drive-in repair shop is open to the public. Whether it'll be your everyday driver, farm equipment, fleet vehicle, or heavy-duty truck, their ASE-certified technicians will get you back on the road. The on-site dyno is ready to run all the necessary diagnostic testing. From preventative maintenance to complete overhauls, Mid-South Power can handle it all. Stop in today at 3288 Mill Branch Road or call 901-396-0710 and online at mid-southpower.com.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
If you've always thought, hey, I'd look pretty good in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus thinks so, too. Lexus is offering you the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2019 models and special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500. Hey, you look pretty good there. Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Memphis. Experience amazing.
At Jason's Deli, you can stuff yourself full of great deli food that's healthy, fresh, and best of all, it's not expensive. Jason's Deli is all about choice. Whether you're looking for a gluten-free menu, vegetarian sandwiches, healthy kids' meals, or if you'd like to invent your sandwich via the build-your-own selections, Jason's Deli has you covered. And they only use fresh, wholesome ingredients. Choose from the club and specialty sandwiches, paninis, wraps, soups, salads, pastas, and much more. I love the cleanliness in the restaurant, the hospitality, and of course the cost. They have a huge salad bar and great soups, including Southwest chicken chili, fire roasted tortilla, organic vegetable, tomato basil, and many, many more. And if you're planning an event, their catering department is fantastic and can handle any size party. Go check out Jason's Deli's 4 locations. On Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, that's my favorite, on Germantown Parkway in Cordova, at Poplar and Highland, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Well, so long ago. Oh, yes, they were. Oh, yes, they were. Somehow they still make me blue. Folks say the time.
Welcome back. Celebrating the royalty. Right?
Yep.
What's the honorary?
This is Solomon Burke, the Bishop of Soul.
Bishop of Soul. Oh. All right.
We have a bishop?
Apparently we do. Is there a deacon of Soul?
Other nicknames include King Solomon and the Muhammad Ali of Soul.
Okay.
So what's the hierarchy of soul? We have the King of Soul.
Well, King of Soul.
Then we have the
Prince.
Do we have Duke?
Got to be a
Duke of Soul?
Let's see if there's a Duke of Soul.
Duke of Earl, I'm aware of, but not about the Duke of Soul. Then we have Bishop of Soul. Is that a self-proclaimed Bishop of Soul?
I don't think so.
I am the self-proclaimed Associate Vice President of Soul. That's my title.
Assistant to the Regional Manager of Soul.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
Yes, that's me. Right here as we continue on the program. What do you expect from the Tigers exhibition opener, CBU? What do you expect? What do you expect?
I expect.
I don't know why I'm screaming at you. Why? What do you expect?
I'm trying to figure out if I need to match this energy. I expect the Tigers to go out there and dominate start to finish and show why they should be in the top 10 in the nation. Where are we supposed to be, Tigers fans? Where's Memphis supposed to be? I really don't know. Are you under the impression they should be number one in the nation? Either way it goes, they're going to go out and show why they should be wherever the hell Tigers fans thinks they should be in the nation. Out there dominating, dunking. 2 bodies for James Wiseman. Why is that smile on your face?
It's a long.
Okay.
It's a long and winding road.
I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
There's nothing to be nervous about.
You smile, I get nervous, man.
I understand. Do you think they'll win? If they don't.
Yes, they'll win. They'll win.
Would that be the worst and biggest disaster in sports history?
In sports history? Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
I think it actually would be.
That would knock Michigan losing as a top 5 team at home to FCS App State.
Even though it's an exhibition game?
Yeah.
I think it would definitely be.
Yeah.
I mean, there would be a real.
Never seen
one of these right here.
Just eyes all the way, nervous look, just
like so I think they'll win by at least 50.
Okay. That's
Maybe
a lot.
more.
That's a lot to cover,
That's
man.
a lot to cover.
That's a lot to cover.
Is there a line on the game? Have we checked?
I'll check.
Yeah, I'm going to guess it's not a line on this game, but I want to see what is it going to go? Is it going to be the all freshman starting lineup?
Mm-hmm.
You know, is it because we've seen a lot of good things. Damian Ball was really impressive in doing his thing in the Bahamas. Boogie Ellis as well. Lester, DJ Jeffries. You know, these are all freshmen that are going to be in the mix. And of course, you got Precious and James. But I think that five freshman group is probably going to be the group that jumps out there, which makes a lot of sense. I think it'll also be interesting to see the minutes from like Tyler Harris and Lomax within this group, and see how they do. And there's going to be there's a lot. Just the rotations will be interesting because I don't know that you're necessarily going to be able to tell everything from an exhibition game, but I think you'll be able to tell something.
Mm-hmm. Believe it or not, I can't find that line.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Not surprised. What would you set the line? I'd set it literally. I'd set it at 40, 39 and a half.
Oh, 43.
So you're taking the
43. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they're going to get poor CBU. This is not going to be a look ahead game, unlike what.
No Mike Neighbor for CBU. Neighbor left.
Oh,
so that'll be a new thing.
Mm-hmm.
We broadcast some CBU games here on the station. Eli Savoy is typically the voice of CBU, and I've broadcast a few watching them play. He had a very distinctive style. That there was a very specific and I think an interesting sort of motion based style that he would use, and I had some talented guys. I have no idea what they look like now, but I have a feeling that probably it's not going to look. It's going to look rough against these guys.
It's going to look rough against these guys.
And I do think if you're going to try to set the tone for the season, it would be nice to set it and just obliterate them. Because the idea is that if you want all this smoke, you're going to be a bunch of killers out there.
Yeah.
Like you want Wiseman to put up
you want to get
stupid numbers.
You want to get this team by like 70. Yeah. However many points you can score, you want to score.
You kind of want to run up. If you want to set it, if you want to be
that's the bad guy.
I kind of feel like they if they want to embrace that, I don't know if bad guy's the right phrasing, but like if you that aspect of it, you want to embrace like the dark side. You want to embrace you
want to step into the bad side.
You want to take
that's what you want to do.
The force. You want to go to the dark side of the force. You want to go to the light. If you want to go to the bad side, which I think is the right way to go. I like it when they embrace that. I think that's you've already done that with the smoke thing. You've already done that. You've set that tone. So lean into it. Go all the way.
Yeah,
just beat them down. No subs. Don't put any. Just starters. All the way. 35 minutes. Just 155 to like 20. Just kill them.
I mean, unfortunately for CBU and Lamar and Owen, and then some of these smaller teams, or not smaller, lesser teams that the Tigers will play around the start of the season in the American Conference, it's going to be a lot of that going on. It's going to be a lot of, hey, we're up 30. Let's get these highlights going. Let's go. I need something to pop on film. I need something to show this scout. Let's go ahead and get this going. And that's what they've leaned into so far. They've done it with the larger programs. They're like, no, we are not a thorn in your side. We are legitimately here to come and take something from you, take your respect from you. That's what we're here to do. And that, if that's your mentality with some of these larger programs, the Kentuckys of the world, the Kansases, the Dukes, the Tennessees, then that's probably going to trickle down to some of these games against like a East Carolina. Like they are going to try and go out there and annihilate and embarrass these folks out there on the court. And I'm here for it. That's a part of the smoke.
That's where we're at, man.
Get your full venom on.
Just
go straight bad. Is that the bad guy sound?
That's the venomous fangs.
Oh, okay.
Just get it in there. Embrace that stuff. And I think the fans will be. I mean, it's a special thing, though it's an exhibition. It's a special thing to see the guys for the first time. It's a special thing to see that group for the first time. It's there's a certain buzz. You're seeing it with the Grizzlies and John Morant. Like, yeah, it's a little different situation because you're playing against entirely different level of opposition.
Mm-hmm.
And the Grizzlies will lose a bunch of games. The Tigers will not lose a bunch of games. But it's still the same kind of thing when you see you haven't had a chance to see this guy out there and the plays and the potential, and there's that big unknown.
Mm-hmm.
The thing with the Grizzlies over the last few years has been like, we kind of know what you're going to see. Like it's
no matter what they say, no matter how fast they say they're going to play, we know.
What these possessions are going to look like. What that offense is going to look like. What guys do, what their strengths and weaknesses are. With the Tigers, under Tubby, you knew kind of it was just sort of a.
Mm-hmm.
It was okay. Like nobody's just standing out. Nobody's going crazy. And then there's a few really neat plays, some excellent stuff. Jeremiah Martin doing some stuff, but not spectacular potential. But with the Tigers now, they have 4 or 5 dudes that could potentially, on any given possession, just yam it on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Or you got Lester out there. You could hit 4 or 5 straight threes. I mean, there's stuff on the table that wasn't on the table before, which creates such a energy and excitement that had been missing for years and years. And even last year, the excitement was more about Penny.
Yeah.
Not so much necessarily what the team was going to do, because it's still a team in transition. This one now is kind of the fully engaged version of what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
And the excitement of that and what that could look like is palpable. Fantastic.
Highlights everywhere.
It's great for the city.
Oh, I don't know if it's been this type of excitement for both. Tigers basketball has gone on a nice run. Grizzlies basketball has gone on a nice run. There's been excitement for one or the other. I don't know if it's been excitement for both. And while the Grizzlies aren't going to win many games, the way they're playing, they're getting up and down the court, and they are getting. Jaren Jackson Jr. caught a body last night.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've got athletes out there on the court who can go up there and make spectacular jaw-dropping plays. And the Tigers have all of the athletes out there who can do that. 5, 6, 7 players deep when you think about what type of excitement they could bring you. Not just wins and losses, but just seeing something you've never seen before, or seeing something and you turn to the person next to you and go, yo, did you just see that? Did you see him get up there and block that ball? Did you see Achua break my man's ankles and then yam it on somebody? Did you see that? Those players are out there now. It's going to be great.
And see, that's the thing. I think ultimately, we've talked about this before. I don't know if we've talked about it, but I've certainly talked about it before on the show. I think it annoys me that so many people, nowadays especially, it feels like we look at sports through the prism of simply, did you win or not? Did you win the title or not? Did you win a championship or not?
Mm-hmm.
Did you win at the highest possible level or not?
Mm-hmm.
And the truth is that in every sport, one team will win and everyone else will lose. And if you're the only way you consider a season to be successful is if you win everything, or if you are winning at a certain level or whatever, if that's the only joy and positivity that you get out of a season, why do you do it? Why do you do that to yourself? There will be so many teams that will be disappointed. Some teams will make it a certain distance in the postseason, and that'll be good enough for them. But most that fall in the postseason will be disappointed, and they thought they could have done better. But along the way, to your point about what could happen on any given night, that to me is the important stuff about being a sports fan. It's those moments, that night. Oh, you remember that night when, X happened. You remember that night when that guy did this. You remember that guy when, they're all. I'm sure all of you out there listening have those moments that you remember, whatever sport you like, where something unique and special happened that was really interesting and cool. And the more players you have that are capable of providing those moments, the more interesting and enjoyable that season can be. I mean, I don't go to a lot of baseball games, but I still remember going to a Cardinals-Cubs game back in 06 or 07 or something like that, I think, when Carlos Zambrano hit a triple, like the pitcher. That was the most amazing thing to see. This big dude just sort of lumbering around and was he going to make it? Could he possibly triple? What? And the ball just get just in the right spot to kind of bounce around and take enough time in the outfield where it was. I'll still remember that. I don't remember anything else about that game. Mm-hmm. I don't even really remember who won. I think the Cubs won, but I don't even really remember that. Mm-hmm. I do remember that though. I remember that moment. That's, I don't know if you're a fan. I just don't want people. I feel like players also get caught up in this too much. These ring, dude, your career. Mike Conley's had a wonderful career, whether he wins the title or not. Come on.
We remember moments more than we remember champions. We just do. You remember that moment in baseball, and if I said 2012 MLB champion, 2012 World Series champion, you probably have nothing for me there.
No, I don't.
So embrace. Sure, you want to go out. You want your team to go out there and win. Not saying not to want them to win or not to, as a player, go out there for the purpose of winning. But this goes to the enjoyment of the journey, not necessarily the focus on the destination. Exactly. So no matter what happens this season, Tigers basketball fans, enjoy it. Enjoy it because they are going to give you some stuff that's going to be I can't wait to get to work so I can talk about the way James Wiseman almost broke the backboard pinning that guy's ball.
Let's take that break. Come back, and we will continue on the program. Lots more to get to here on the Experience Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Sports 56 now has 2 FM homes. You can now find real sports talk on 96.1 as well as 87.7 on your FM dial.
I know the sweetest thing in Memphis, and I know it's been around for 115 years. I'm talking about Dinstall's, and it's time to stock up heavy on Cashew Crunch, Heavenly Crunch, Turtlettes, all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. So easy to get. The sweetest thing in Memphis, all you have to do is head to Laurelwood or head to Germantown and Poplar right across from the hospital, or go where they make the candies. That's on Pleasant View. There's nothing that says Memphis better than Cashew Crunch with that little tinge of coconut, or the Turtlettes. Let's face it, there's nothing better than Dinstall's chocolate. That's the mainstay of all candies, isn't it? Milk chocolate, although their dark chocolate is pretty darn good. And if you get the peppermint with the dark chocolate and put it in the freezer, you're going to love it. So many ways to love Dinstall's. Stock up heavy on all of your favorite Dinstall's treats. 115 years of making Memphis oh so sweet.
Bartlett Small Engine has been serving quality power equipment since 1970. They have a full line of power equipment, parts, and services for most makes and models. Bartlett Small Engines has the best brands in the power tool industry: Honda mowers, trimmers, and generators, Steel blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws, Echo trimmers, blowers, and chainsaws, plus quality products from Red Mat and Shindawa. And they're all American made. Bartlett Small Engine is your can-do store. 6780 Summer Avenue. Call 901-386-9779.
They're doing it again at Family Leisure. This time it's a factory direct pool table. Oh, and some more of the spas on sale. Free installation on all in-stock pool tables. Free play-in package. Free choice of felt. Pool tables as low, listen, $12.99. Additional discounts on all those in-stock spas. Plenty in stock ready to ship. 20, 30, maybe even 40% off spa accessories. And swim spas starting at $9,999. Get to I-40 and Wooden Road. There's always something good at Family Leisure.
How you doing, people? And if you're in the market for a new Chevy car, truck, or SUV, new or pre-owned, see my guys at All-Star Chevrolet in Olive Branch. They will treat you like a star. It's simple as ABC. A is the All-Star Challenge to beat any written offer from any Mid-South dealer, or they buy you a tank of gas. B, better buying experience. They value your time and make it quick. C, customer care. They want you to be an All-Star family member for this car or truck and all the other ones you'll ever need. And before you head to All-Star and Olive Branch, check out the inventory at allstarautogroup.com. Silverados, Equinox, Traverse, Impala, Camaro. They have all you ever need with the best Chevy lineup ever. So don't go to Collierville, The Pike, or South Haven. Find new roads to Olive Branch and All-Star Chevrolet, minutes from anywhere in Memphis, or go to allstarautogroup.com. Just mention you heard about them on this station and you'll get a Malco movie gift card when you test drive any All-Star Chevy you want.
I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses. I Buy Houses will buy a house in any area, in any condition, and yes, it's guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your home quickly, call 901-406-1101. If you've been through a divorce, if you lost your job, if you're tired of renters, I Buy Houses can get you your money quickly. I Buy Houses will buy your home in Shelby County, DeSoto County, Memphis, Bartlett, South Haven, Horn Lake, Olive Branch, anywhere and everywhere in between in any condition. And yes, they're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I Buy Houses, 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Grab that pen, 901-406-1101. I Buy Houses.
Mike Tirico and Tony Baselli here from Westwood One with a Thursday Night Football preview. We're getting set for the Washington Redskins at the Minnesota Vikings. And Tony, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings red hot. They are 5-2, having won 3 in a row.
Mike, and a big reason for the 3-game winning streak is Kirk Cousins. He's playing the best football of his career, and he's the highest-rated quarterback in the NFL. On top of that, they have a great rushing attack with Dalvin Cook. They're a very good team, but they can't relax. Even though the 1-6 Washington Redskins are coming to town, they need a win to keep pace with the Packers in their division.
Yeah, sounds terrific, Tony. I look forward to joining you in Minneapolis for the Redskins and the Vikings on Thursday Night Football.
Remember to listen to Westwood One's coverage of the NFL all season long, right here on Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Hey, frequent heartburn may keep you from running your A game, but it doesn't have to anymore. Join the Prilosec OTC 2-week challenge. Just go to prilosecotc.com. You'll get $3 off to get you started, plus 14 days of tips, tricks, and reminders. Just 2 weeks, zero heartburn. Go to prilosecotc.com and sign up today. Zero heartburn is possible with Prilosec OTC. Use as directed for 14 days to treat frequent heartburn, not for immediate relief.
Napa know-how.
Why should you buy a 99-cent Napa bag? Because it's no ordinary bag. It can save you 20% on 3 or more items you can fit inside. Some call that magic. Others say it's the 8th wonder of the world. But whatever it is, it's the best way to save you 20% on brakes, filters, wipers, and more. Quality parts, helpful people. That's Napa know-how.
Napa know-how.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores while supplies last. Minimum 3 items. Exclusions apply. Offer ends 10/31/19.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Welcome back.
King of Soul at it again.
Come on, man. Certainly King of Country.
No, this is the executive vice president of external affairs for country right here. This is old Keith Willie, I believe.
Keith Willie.
Oh, Keith.
Keith Willie, man.
Keith Willie making another appearance on the show.
Keith Willie he's really become a big part of the show.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Keith Willie for his rise up the charts. Nationals Astros, the Nationals rising up the charts, up 2-0 Both wins in Houston. Mattress Mac sweating it out.
Okay.
Getting more bets down. Maybe he's going to try to bet on those Astros going winning 4 of the next 5. CJ, is it going to be a sweep?
Yes. Get the brooms out. Where's my broom?
Austin, baseball guy. With all due respect to you, CJ, not really baseball guy.
I'm the baseball guy.
The most baseball guy.
I'm the assistant to the baseball guy.
He was watching the game last night. I bet you probably didn't watch the game.
Austin, what do you think?
I'm going to say you did not watch the game last night.
No, not about me. Correct. About is this going to be a sweep?
Oh, no, it's not going to be a sweep, no.
I don't know.
I will predict that the Astros will win Game 3.
Going out on a limb.
Anibal Sanchez is not going to almost no-hit the Astros like he did my Cardinals, I don't think.
Edible who?
Anibal Sanchez.
Cannonball Sanchez?
Oh, I heard that.
Cannibal Sanchez.
Hannibal Sanchez?
Animal Crackers Sanchez.
Cannonball franchise?
We could go with all kinds of stuff.
Oh, that's right. That's it. So you're going to say the Astros are going to win at least a game.
They will win at least a game.
It's over.
Well, we gave you the numbers earlier on. They're pretty convincing.
Mm-hmm.
It's happened 26 times where the road team has won the first 2 games. And in those times, 15 of 26 that there's been a sweep. So that would be over 50%.
Yes, indeed.
Last 5 times it's happened.
But hey, the road team's undefeated so far, as CJ said earlier.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what happens.
The road team is undefeated.
The road team is undefeated.
And as we all know, series doesn't start till the home team wins a game.
Yep. Exactly.
Something like that. Is that right?
I think so.
Actually, it's typically the series doesn't start till a home team loses a game, I think, which has already happened twice.
No,
is that right? Okay.
No, that's not right. No.
It's
series isn't over till a home team loses a game, which has already happened twice. So
it's righty, loosey, lefty, tighty. Same thing. Same premise.
Series doesn't not start until the home team doesn't win a game.
It's lefty, loosey, righty, tighty.
Nah,
it's the actual phrase.
Pretty sure it's the other way around, Austin. Pretty sure I got that right.
Not sure what system you're using, but we'll go with it. I'm going to make sure you don't try.
I think that's right.
Yeah. Righty, loosey, lefty, tighty. And the series doesn't start till the home team wins a home game.
The series has yet to start
right
here. It's tightening up. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Hour number 3 on the way. We'll recap last night for the Grizzlies. For those of you that missed it was not great. But we'll explain to you why it wasn't great. Also, much more to get to. Sports 56 961 87.7.
By now, everybody in Memphis knows that Sunrise on Jefferson offers the best breakfast in Memphis. But what you might not know is Sunrise also offers a fantastic lunch menu. The mouth-watering bacon cheeseburger, because everything is better with bacon. The grilled chicken sandwich, also with bacon. The turkey sandwich with, you guessed it, bacon. And of course, the BLT, because sometimes bacon just has to be the star. Come to Sunrise for a delicious lunch, now with extra added bacon goodness. Bacon and Sunrise, made for each other.
If you've always thought, hey, I'd look pretty good in a Lexus, well, guess what? Lexus thinks so, too. Lexus is offering you the Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Great offers on all 2019 models and special lease options. Drive in luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Stop by Lexus of Memphis, 2600 Ridgeway, and put yourself in the driver's seat of an all-new 2019 flagship LS500. Hey, you look pretty good there. Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event at Lexus of Memphis. Experience amazing.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Hewlett & Dunn, nestled on Old Town Square in Collierville, has 4,000 square feet of the largest boot selection in 200 miles. International boot legends Luke Casey, Double H, Red Wing, Ariat, Justin, and Tony Lama. Hewlett & Dunn has rubber hunting boots by Dry Shod and recently has expanded the selection of safety work boots. Filson Hunting Gear, biggest selection in 3 states, and now carrying Duckhead. Western wear, hunting attire, jeans, belts, hats, and more at 111 North Center Street, Collierville on Old Town Square. You need to stop by Hewlett & Dunn? You bet your boots.
Did you know nearly 40% of men under 40 and over 75% of men over the age of 40 experience sexual performance concerns? At the Memphis Men's Clinic, their experienced physician performs a comprehensive evaluation that determines which specific issues may interfere with your sexual performance. These issues can vary and range from anxiety to medical issues, low testosterone, or erectile dysfunction. The Memphis Men's Clinic has evaluated hundreds of men of all ages over the years and reestablished a normal sexual life. The Memphis Men's Clinic will work aggressively to resolve issues and allow you to restore your sexual health and overall well-being. That's the Memphis way. If you're 20 years old or 90 years old, come and get cared for the Memphis way. Treatment that's based on your specific needs after a professional clinical evaluation by their experienced board-certified physician. Call the Memphis Men's Clinic today at 901-443-0475 or visit memphismensclinic.com.
Hey, Tiger fans, this is John Stacy of the Blue and Gray Show. You can hear Drew Barrett and I talk Tigers with Tigers every Sunday at 5 right here on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. Drew, who do we got in the studio with us this week?
This week on the show, John and I are joined in studio by former University of Memphis Tigers wide receiver Joe Craig as we break down the Tulsa game and get you ready for the big AAC matchup against SMU.
Thanks, Drew. We'll be here Sunday on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7. The Blue and Gray Show, where we talk Tigers with Tigers.
We are Sports 56 WHBQ Memphis, WIVG-FM Tunica Memphis, and WPG-FLP Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and C.J.
On a cold and gray Chicago morning, a poor little baby child is born in the ghetto. And his mother cries.
You know why?
No.
Because if there's one thing that she don't need, is another hungry mouth to feed in the ghetto.
The king of... I don't know. Who's the...
Sounds like King of Country to me.
King of Country? Okay. All right.
Although we just played King of Country.
Is this Keith Willie?
Oh, King of Covers right here.
Oh, well. I rock. Yeah. That's his new name for me. That's going on the board also. King of Covers. I like that.
Turn our head and look the other way.
It's a great song, though.
It's one of the forgotten classics from old Keith Willie. Hour number 3 of the program is here.
Is Keith an honorary Dairy Boy now, by the way?
87.7. I just don't know Keith well enough to bestow that upon him.
Is Keith Willie still alive?
Is Keith Willie even alive?
Does
Keith still alive?
Exist?
Does Keith Willie exist?
He's existential milk.
I mean,
he works for Twain Financial Partners.
We've got to get Keith Willie on the show.
Mark Twain Financial. That's wonderful. Okay, so we got hour number 3 of the program. It is here. We're doing it. We've already talked a bunch of college basketball, getting you set for the Tiger Exhibition opener tonight against CBU. Last night, the Grizzlies opened their season with a big fat L. You can't spell Grizzlies without L. And
there'll be a lot of them. There'll be the Grizzlies.
Yes.
Okay, so that was what? Hang on, what was that, about 55, 56 losses on that range?
Something like that. I can't count all these L's.
I guess, when they get a little bit better, they'll be the Grizzlies at that point because you have to throw those W's in there. Or the Gwizzies, because you'll take that L out. The Gwizzies. When they get to be old, they'll be the Gwizzies.
The Memphis Gwizzies. Sounds like Mike Tyson commentating.
The Gwithies
Like
win again.
Like a 6-year-old who's lost his two
Gwithies.
front teeth.
The Gwithies. Well, once they get older, they'll be the Gwithies, and that'll be good.
Yeah.
But they're not. They're the Grizzlies right now, for sure.
You should do the whole rest of the show like that.
Well, I can't because they haven't won. As soon as they win, we'll do it. When they get that first W, then we'll throw the W in the name, and they'll be the Gwizzies. The old Gwizzies. That is so.
As soon as they get the win, though, they are going to be that name right there. As soon as they get the win,
that is so silly.
Welcome to the damn show, Peter. Are you new?
I'm not saying it's unusual or wrong. I'm just saying it's just precious. So the Grizzlies lost last night to the Miami Heat, 120-101. No Jimmy Butler for the Heat. He missed because of personal reasons.
And he was there for shoot around.
Those reasons are personal. Maybe he had something going on. Maybe he had a date that night. Maybe he had
maybe he was going to trap and paint.
Could be karaoke night. Who knows? Personal reasons. So quit asking.
I didn't ask.
None of your business, CJ.
That's fine. I agree with that.
All right. Well, sounds like you were asking.
No, hope he's okay, though.
The Heat were led by Justice Winslow, who bullied his way for 27.7 rebounds, 7 assists. Rookie Kendrick Nunn, a player with whom many of you may not have been familiar, and Tyler Hero, both rookies, starting backcourt, both very good against the Grizzlies, which is not great.
So, Peter, can I hop in here and ask you a question?
Hop away.
Nunn was in the G League last year, correct? All right, but because this is his first game in the pros, he's considered a rookie. Got you. Back dialed in. Go ahead.
That's it. What else can I do for you?
Nothing?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Sort of like, you remember Andrew Harrison back in the day. He played a whole season in the G League without playing in NBA. He was still a rookie.
And he was a rookie. I got it.
He wouldn't be a G League rookie.
No. G League vet.
G League vet. And he would look on this evidence. He would kill the G League. He had 24 last night. Tyler Hero in his first game out of Kentucky, 14 points, 8 rebounds. Little smoke. Hero talking a little trash. Got a little heated with the Grizzlies once John Morant got swallowed up by Chris Silva, who was blocking everything inside. A little trash talk happened, and Jaren comes over to back his boy up, which is nice. It's the way it's supposed to be.
Was there trash talk happening, or was Jaren just over there and smacking balls out of people's hands?
I think Silva was kind of talking.
Okay.
Jaren, I'm sure he may have escalated it. He may not have been a peacemaker going over there. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, he after the game he described it as just something you got to do for your teammate. That's just just taking care of your buddy.
Isn't that nice?
It's beautiful. The young players on the Heat, though, the young development. Eric Spoelstra, this is his 12th year, and he's a really good coach, man. And their culture and all that stuff, which sometimes can be overplayed a little bit depending on who you talk to. But man, you got to say they have created. Justice Winslow is a much better player. They have turned him into. He was a good player. I really like Justice Winslow coming out of Duke, but he's so much bigger and stronger now. He just bullied John Morant on one play. It was men against boys. That backed him just like under the basket, and then
Ja deserved that. Ja goes down there and gets the layup in traffic, and definitely flexes his arms in Justice's general direction. It's like, okay, I got you.
Yeah, Justice has got him outweighed by a good 40 pounds at least, and used all that strength and weight just to back him down, and it was way too easy. You can't defend Justice Winslow with a point guard.
No,
and especially not
anymore.
Rookie point guard.
Yeah, no.
And no, that's not going to happen. But the Heat with those young players, again, you've seen the development of Damon Jones Jr., who got Jonas Valanciunas with a nasty flush. I mean, he threw it. He literally threw it down. It was like Dwight Howard back in the day when he threw that ball in. It was the same kind of thing. And Jonas took the full force of that one. Somebody named Duncan Robinson. You remember Duncan?
Oh, yeah, I remember Duncan out there balling.
Balling, yeah. So a lot of young players for the Heat, really very impressive youth development kind of thing going for them. They score 120. Grizzlies they've got the youth development thing going too, but they are at a much earlier stage of their building of the culture. That's the big difference between the Heat and the Grizzlies right now. Because the Heat technically, I mean, like in terms of the rookies, you wouldn't think like Kendrick Nunn coming in, as an older rookie kind of guy through the G League has made his way up out of Oakland, not a heralded dude at all, but because of what he's been working with and because of the kind of place that they put him in, he's able to come in and immediately be really effective. Same thing with Hero and everybody else. When you get that culture in place, it's sort of like the Spurs did. All the rookies just kind of end up looking better. All the young players just sort of end up getting better just by nature, by the fact that they're in that setup. Grizzlies do not have that yet. That's one of the things they're trying to build, but they're not there yet, not by a long shot. And so the rookies were inconsistent. John Morant, I would say, if you just sort of looked at it overall, you'd say like 14 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 6 turnovers. That's not great, but 6 to 12 shooting, like that's probably a good night, you would think. But if you watched it, it was not a good night. He got off to a really good start, and then I don't know if he was, I wouldn't say fatigued, but he looked like he didn't make an impact at all on the game really in the second half. Normally he's in the middle of all the action. Like he's driving, he's creating shots. He's got to be like the focal point. And he was very content to just kind of not be that guy. And whether that was, he was kind of maybe taken aback by the physicality and the nature of the play. Maybe he just was a little bit tired. Maybe it was, I don't know. But you can't have that. And he was a team worst minus 29. And he looked like a minus 29. There'll be a lot better games for Ja. I'm not worried about him or anything, but it was kind of I call it chastening. Like it's a reminder of this is a different level.
When nobody's hitting shots around you, that makes you as Ja Morant somebody who can go get a bucket at the rim and really attack the rim downhill. That makes your job harder. And so the Grizzlies didn't shoot the ball particularly well. You had the stat about what they were from 6 feet and out. And so the Heat defensively,
13 of 52 for the Grizzlies from 6 feet and beyond.
What's that percentage?
25.
Okay. So that's not good.
I mean,
so
you take 4 shots, you're going to hit one of them. You missed 3.
The Heat were able to just say, okay, we can just send bodies at him when he
5
gets
of 32 from 3.
Like that's not good, and that's not going to be enough to create open lanes for Ja to really do what he does best, and that's with the ball in his hand, go downhill and either finish at the rim or create opportunity for somebody else.
One I would say also from a defensive standpoint, the Heat took a page from the Charlotte book and even a little bit of what the Spurs did in preseason, and they really blitzed the pick and roll and the high ball screen that Ja came off of. So the idea just to get the ball out of his hands. And so, when you're thinking from a defensive standpoint, CJ, when you take, you got that, they set that screen up top, for example, and you have that big that now the big can do lots of different things. The big could drop into coverage. They call that drop coverage. That's what most teams kind of default to. And you're willing to give up that little mid-range, but you're trying to stop the drive all the way to the basket, trying to keep an eye on what's going on and basically cover things conventionally. Or you can go up to the level of the screen and hedge it a little bit and try to make it harder for the player to come around. You can't just come straight around. You got to make him work a little bit harder, but then you drop back into your coverage pretty quickly at that point. Or you can do what the Heat did a lot last night, which is just to blitz it and to go all the way out, way up, and have that big come way up and almost turn. And sometimes they did turn it into a double team, where you blitz and then you just double and force that pass. And with a lot of teams who have good shooting around them, well, that's going to leave somebody open because you got the defender out there. You get into rotations and you can find an open shot. Ja can do that, and he found guys. They don't have any shooters, so there's really no major risk for opponents of the Grizzlies. This is going to be the blueprint now. How do you deal with this for Ja, who needs the ball in his hands? And in that screen and roll situation, if you can just blitz and get that ball out of his hands, and teams don't pay for doing that, that's going to make life really hard for the Grizzlies.
And even though there aren't shooters, pitting the right person in the pick and roll, somebody that's dynamic, somebody who could be a ball handler or a legitimate threat with the ball in his hands, to score, that would be able to help some too.
Mm-hmm.
So Brandon Clark, who played really well last night, if you put him in that pick and roll situation, they blitz it, you put the ball in his hand, top of the key or on the wing, like now you're faced with a different set of dilemmas as a defense, and maybe he can find a way to make plays. But you're right. Like if you're the Grizzlies right now and your plan is to let it fly, just shoot constantly with no shooters, there's no real threat from you on the offensive end of the court. So as a defense, you just blitz it. You don't let Ja get that full hit of steam going downhill. Blitz it, get the ball out of his hand, and rotate.
That's where it's at. So
can Brandon Clark be that though? Can Brandon Clark in that position? Jaren showed a real nice move, shot fake, goes around the guy, Euro steps in the paint to finish at the rim. I think Jaren has an ability with his handles to make teams pay when they blitz if they can get the ball in his hand. But can Brandon Clark do something like that?
Well, it's going to depend also on the positioning. Maybe Brandon Clark I wouldn't say that's a huge strength of his, but he hit one corner three, catch and shoot, looked really good in the process. Is he going to be able to attack a closeout? He could. I mean, he can. I'm not sure that's his number one strength, but he can definitely do that. Same thing with Jaren. I don't know if that's his number one strength either, but he can do it. The thing it's going to be is you're going to have to change, to me, some of the personnel in that screen. You're going to have to change who sets that screen and where they're setting it. If it's just a traditional high ball screen, which kind of starts so much of the action in the NBA, I think if you're setting that with like Jonas, that's tough. I mean, you're gonna, because Jonas is not a threat at this point to pop out and maybe be a valve for that. Because that's the first valve we would look at is the big who set the screen. If the defensive big is not going to go and account for him, then that's your first look. Can you get blitzed and you double way out of the way? Can you throw it back over the top and find him? If you can, cool. But he's not exactly. He's okay. He's working on that 3-point threat, but he's not there yet. And he's not super mobile to be able to go and get the ball in a weird position. He's certainly not going to attack a closeout. Jaren would be good in that spot, theoretically. But I don't think Jaren is a great screen setter at this point.
Mm-hmm.
So this is another thing. The Grizzlies are slipping those screens, which is another way you can potentially attack the blitz.
Mm-hmm.
But if teams expect that, and the Grizzlies slip so many screens in preseason, then that's going to depend on where you are on the court and how quickly can Ja get the ball to that big. And then same issue. What are you going to do as a defense when you have a team that has nobody that can kill you from the outside?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be able to compress that defense into the paint so you can slip all you want, but you're just going to be going into
there for you.
People and arms and bodies. And so it comes back to you're going to have to be able to do something consistently to keep defenses honest, or it is going to be difficult for Ja to find clear passing lanes to do his thing.
And they're not going to be able to do that with the way the roster is constructed.
Right now, no.
So it's going to get real difficult as the season progresses for any lanes to really open up, especially when you begin to play the better teams, those teams in contention out west, your Denvers, your Utahs, your Portlands, your Houstons. They're going to have that all the way figured out. So there are going to be a lot of nights like last night where it's just put up a good fight, but then just the other team pulls away late, and that's all she wrote.
And I think that's what happened in this game. I mean, the Grizzlies played really well for 3 quarters. And they were ahead for most of those 3 quarters. They were in position, going in tied after 3. You're in a good spot. And then,
they tied or up?
Or they were actually up 1 after 3. 84-83, and then they end up, outscored 37-17 in the fourth quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, as we talked about in the first hour, I think the biggest issue for me is not that they lost or anything like that. I mean, they're going to lose a bunch of games. The thing that was alarming was just how quickly they lost their composure.
Mm-hmm.
It's a young team. you're going to see that. But that's where they miss that guy that can, veteran presence can calm things down a little bit. Jay Crowder really didn't do that.
Well, you've got to have the veteran presence and the ability to
make a shot,
stop it. Yeah.
To do something on the court.
Veteran presence, let's calm it down, and then be a veteran who can go out there and get buckets to stop the run, stop the bleeding.
It just kept on just spiraling and just kept on getting crazier and crazier. So,
what was that run? 23-2, 23-3?
23-3.
Yeah.
And it looked like 23-3 out there. So Grizzlies will play the Bulls tomorrow night in the home opener, and then they'll play Kyrie and the Nets on Sunday. Very interesting. Kyrie with 50
of them.
And he could have had 52 on an insane.
Oh my gosh, that handle, man.
I mean, guy falls down Globetrotter style and gets up, keeps the handle, and has a great final shot and just missed it. But yeah, Kyrie was something else in this game. 50 points on 17 of 33, shooting 7 of 14 from three. You're going to see that a lot from him. 44% shooting from outside for the Nets and for the Timberwolves. Andrew Wiggins really encapsulated himself in this game. Max contract guy. 36 minutes, 27 shots, scored 21 points on those shots. Was a team worst minus 26 in a game that you won by 1 point. He was a minus 26, CJ. And yet he hit 2 huge shots late in regulation to give his team a chance to take it to overtime and win the game. That's Andrew Wiggins' career right there in a nutshell. Like he will hit some shots where you're like, wow, that dude can make. And for the most part, he is awful. It was. I don't
He's
know
a volume shooter. He's a lot of shots.
He's like the worst parts of Kobe with so little of the upside, so little of the best parts.
Just like Kobe Bryant, if you take away all the good and just leave all the bad.
If you leave most of the bad,
don't
take away all the good. There's some good because again, he's hit some clutch shots, but most of the good and leave all the bad.
Yeah, take away most of the good, leave all the bad. That's Wiggins. Okay.
I mean, no assists, just no. He's just out there, man. Not a good defender. I don't know, but they won. Timberwolves won. They needed that win, and they got it. Obviously, no Kevin Durant for the Nets all year, so that will change things considerably next year.
Nets got to get more out of Cars. He got 20 points. Yeah, he was +9, but he can't be turning the ball over like that.
Yeah, 5 turnovers, not great, but 3 steals, 4 assists. I mean, he's making up for it.
Come on, Cars is a legitimate superstar. He's got to play like one.
Taurean Prince just signed an extension, 15 and 12 for him. Did you see last night? Without Blake Griffin, Detroit. Blake's out for at least a week.
Okay.
Did you see my man Andre Drummond?
No.
Let me lay this on you.
Okay.
Pistons beat the Pacers in Philly, 119
in Philly. They played in neutral court.
They played in Philly. It was weird.
Oh wow.
The Philadelphia Pacers. Have you seen them?
No, I have not seen Philadelphia. I didn't know that.
They changed their name.
Okay, cool.
The Indiana Pacers. They beat them in Indianapolis.
Okay.
119-110. But Andre Drummond. Let me just hit you with the big one first. 8 of 10 from the free throw line.
Huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lie.
8 of 10 from the free throw line.
That's 80%.
32 points, 23 rebounds, 3 steals, 4 blocks.
8 of 10 from the free throw line? Are you kidding me?
From the free throw line.
I don't know what's more surprising.
32 and 23 with 3 steals and 4 blocks. A couple assists, too. 2 more than Andrew Wiggins had.
Yeah. 8 of 10 for Andre Drummond. Are you kidding me? That's more surprising than the 10 assists from Devin Booker.
He has quietly worked on his game from the free throw line. Very quietly.
If he goes 80% from the free throw line, that's something different.
Well, he improved last year, and
improved to what though last year?
Well, I mean, his first so the last 2 years for his first 5 years he was 37% for the foul line.
Good God!
These are his first 5 years. 37%, 42%, 39%, 35%, 39%. But then 2 years ago, 60%. Last year, 59%, and now 8 of 10. I mean, he's improved. You got to give him credit, man.
He has improved.
To the point where he may not be the victim of too many hackers.
Mm-hmm. You can play him in the fourth quarter.
If he's going to shoot 60%-ish, you can't really hack him. That's a little, the odds don't really work for you at that point. So, yeah, that's big news for them. Malcolm Brogdon make his debut for the Pacers, 22 and 11 assists for Brogdon, 27 and 13 for Domantas Sabonis, who also signed a big extension. But yeah, Drummond was absolutely phenomenal. Are you on alert about the Celtics, who get thumped 107-93 by Al Horford and the Sixers? Horford playing against his old team and doing Horford things, playing good defense, not necessarily showing up on the old score sheet. Embiid 15 and 13 with 3 blocks. Ben Simmons did not take a 3, but he did everything else. 24, 8 and 9, 11 of 16 shooting. That starting 5 is big and long. All of them had at least 15 points. And
how'd the bench do? How many points did anybody on the bench score?
The bench did score. They had guys that scored.
Okay.
Their bench is not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not terrible. It's not great. Don't get me wrong. But Mike Scott is a reasonable NBA player. He's okay. James Ennis. You've seen James Ennis. He's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle O'Quinn. Okay. I mean,
all right.
Matisse Thybulle
came out and balled last night.
2 steals, 2 blocks.
Yeah.
In his 22 minutes. As long as they don't have to rely too much on that bench. But Embiid only played 23 minutes.
Okay.
With fouls. So, and they still did this. To me, the Sixers, I like them a lot. And the Bucks, Giannis is still Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll wait and see what happens with them tonight. But Sixers, man, that's a strong group. And I'm just a little nervous. Just a little nervous about these Celtics.
What did you think these Celtics were gonna do?
I don't know. I just Kemba's not going to get out. Kemba had a Conley-esque sort of debut, 4 of 18 from the field, with 12 points. He'll certainly play better than that. But they're going to rely a lot on Gordon Hayward, who had 25. But I just don't think Gordon Hayward's not a great defender, and that's a great strategy to rely on him that much. Jason Tatum, and then you got Jaylen Brown, who got into foul trouble and only played 21 minutes after signing this massive extension, finishes with 8 and 7 on just 6 shots.
I mean,
the benches, they have some depth, but it's a lot of unproven depth. Grant Williams, Tice, Semi Ojeleye, Time Lord, Robert Williams. I don't know. Marcus Smart off the bench doing Marcus Smart things.
It's a lot of dudes who finished 7th in international competition.
Yeah.
I can't put too much faith in a lot of team full of dudes who finished 7th in international competition.
Fair enough.
7th.
RJ Barrett, by the way, had 21 points in his debut. 9 of 13 from the field, most of those coming at the rim. 21, 5, 2, and 2. Did the Grizzlies make the wrong pick? Hot take. Let's go.
What?
Overreact. Let's go. Let's overreact. Why not? Go crazy.
No, we're not doing that.
Okay, let's take a break then. Fine. We'll come back. Lots more to get to as we continue on The Experience. Sports 56, 96, 187.7.
Check out Dave Voloshin and Brett Norsworthy with Sports Time. Weekdays from 3 till 6 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Get your gun, Nellie, and saddle up Penelope. It's Western Trading Days at Sunrise Buick GMC. Old-time trading prices on over 700 new Buicks and GMC trucks, and the Sunrise Used Car Corral has over 500 in stock. Ranch managers have been told to cut prices to the bone, and remember, you can bring your car to Sunrise Service no matter where you bought it. If you're a good person with bad credit, SunriseMemphis.com will help you put one of your brand on these little fillies. Free hot dogs and Cokes at the Chuck Wagon. Western Trading Days going on now at all 3 Sunrise locations. We make it fun to buy a car again.
By now, everybody in Memphis knows that Sunrise on Jefferson offers the best breakfast in Memphis. But what you might not know is Sunrise also offers a fantastic lunch menu. The mouth-watering bacon cheeseburger, because everything is better with bacon. The grilled chicken sandwich, also with bacon. The turkey sandwich with, you guessed it, bacon. And of course, the BLT, because sometimes bacon just has to be the star. Come to Sunrise for a delicious lunch, now with extra added bacon goodness. Bacon and Sunrise, made for each other.
Got something you want to get off your chest?
You better have a backup plan.
Want to join the conversation?
Someone needs to tell him he has to grow up.
Join us on the First Bank phone lines at 360-8255 or the First Bank text line at 67129. For over 25 years, Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7 has been bringing you great local sports talk. With 13 hours of local talk daily, we continue to be Memphis's local sports leader. The day starts with Keith Parker and Elliot Wender on the press box from 6 to 7, followed by the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt from 7 to 10. Sports 56 middays with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy takes you through lunch from 10 until 1. And then, John Harden brings you Johnny Radio's Happy Hour from 1 to 3. Dave Woloshin and Brett Norsworthy drive you home every afternoon with Sports Time with Wolo and Stats from 3 till 6. And John Rennie wraps up the day with Southern Sports Report from 6 to 7 before we turn things over to Fox Sports Radio to get you through the evening. We also bring you Ole Miss sports, NFL football, and the NCAA basketball tournament. Don't miss anything. Keep your radio locked in right here on Real Sports Talk. Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Before the day I met you, life was so unkind. But you're the key to my peace of mind. 'Cause you make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman. When my soul was in the lost and found.
The Queen of Soul.
Yes.
At it again.
For the first time.
Oh, it's not the first time she did this song.
First time you've gotten that right.
Aretha Franklin.
Such a good song also. Such a good song. We've had Queen of Soul. We have Deacon of R&B. We had
the Bishop of Soul.
Bishop of Soul.
The Bishop of the Archduke of Soul.
King of R&B. King of Country.
King of Country.
The Executive Vice President of Marketing of Country.
Okay.
Assistant to the Regional Manager of Country as well.
That's exactly, yes, the Assistant to the Regional Manager of Country.
King of Covers.
King of Covers, yep.
No, we had the Baron of Covers.
Okay.
You know, CJ, won't be long. It'll be Christmas time. We'll be hanging.
The Commandant of Covers. The Lieutenant of Laughs. That's me.
Oh, okay. Just giving yourself a nickname here. All right.
That's right.
Well, Texas agree with you. Who needs the Comedy Channel? We got you guys. That was hilarious. On the First Bank text line, 67129. No clue what that is in reference to, but
the Gwizzies, I believe.
Oh, I forgot about the
Gwizzies is beautiful. You have to.
I can't wait for them to win.
The Gwizzies.
They win. I'll say it.
The Gwizzies.
They got to win.
They got to win.
They got to win.
Yeah, well, they didn't win last night.
No.
Well, this show is always winning because if I'm not mistaken, there's not a single L in it.
No.
It's the Peter Edmiston Experience with C.J. Hurd. I don't think there's an L in there.
No.
Are there any W's?
With. Yeah.
Yeah. With.
Yep.
There you go. Okay, just the one.
All you got to do is win the right one.
That's one. We're 1-0.
Just the big one.
We're 1-0, baby.
That's us, baby.
We're making it happen. That's beautiful. Of course, as we mentioned tonight, you've got the exhibition opener for the Tigers. Got some news coming down on the old baseball diamond, the old ball and mitt, slapping the horse hide, crack of the bat, smell of the grass, Cracker Jacks.
Yes.
Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks.
I don't care if I never get back.
Treating women poorly. That sort of. You remember that league? That's
No,
the league.
Come on.
Oh no, I shouldn't. Shouldn't.
No, we're trying to forget about
tar
that.
all of them with the same brush. Okay, fair enough. The San Diego Padres have hired. Let me get this right here. Let's see if you can help me with it. Jace Tingler.
Oh, the Tingler.
Is that right? Jace Tingler?
The Tingler out there.
Word on the street
coaching
is
now.
they're tingling with excitement.
JC Tingler? The
All
Tingler. Ooh. Ooh. I got a little Jace Tingler. Believe I bought that. I bought one of those on Bourbon Street, I think. A Jace Tingler?
For yourself or that special person?
Well.
Okay.
Well.
Okay.
Sort of both, really. Right? The Jace Tingler. Or maybe that's like an amusement park ride. You ever ridden the Jace Tingler? That thing will really make you.
You kicking in Neverland? What the hell are you doing? What amusement park is that?
Well, that's a different deal there. I don't know.
Yeah.
No comment. Of course, you remember who you replaced, right?
Everybody remembers.
Mm-hmm. Anybody? Andy
Kaufman.
That's right. Andy Kaufman. That's correct. Also, a much more notable hire, with all due respect to Jace Tingler. Ooh, Jace Tingler.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Girardi.
Oh.
Phillies manager.
Okay.
Bryce Harper.
All right.
Let's go. Quit underachieving. Joe Girardi. Gonna get it done.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's gonna win a championship?
Sure, why not?
Okay. Well, you think he'll do better than Jace Tingler?
I don't know. The Tingler get a hold to you, man. That's a momentum swinger right there.
He has a much better roster than Tingler, so yeah.
Jace Tingler.
He's also got that experience.
I don't know, man.
The experience of the Jace Tingler is a whole different.
That's a different experience right there. Once a Tingler gets in there, that's it. That's all she wrote.
Jace Tingler.
All I hear now are Yank twins. Just tangle, 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 tangle.
Tangle, tangle, tangle. Jace Tingler? Is it better Jace Tingler or Jace Tingler? I think either one. They're wonderful. Tiger Woods is playing golf this week. Do you know that?
What?
Yep.
No.
Yep.
Why?
They're paying him. I mean,
okay. That's stop.
Seems like
enough said.
I mean,
seems reasonable.
I mean, first of all, number one, he enjoys playing golf.
Okay.
He is a golfer, after all.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that he finds fulfilling in his life. Number two is he's being paid. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm.
And number three is he's trying to play better than he played after winning the Masters last year. He didn't really play very well, and he wasn't healthy. And now he's playing in the event in Chiba, Japan.
Okay. Play golf over there.
Yeah, it's the Zozo Championship.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Gonna win that Zozo.
Got to get that Zozo.
Get that Zozo. Did you know what? We didn't even talk about this. I meant to mention it, and we got sidetracked on any number of things. Do you know what the name of the tournament was last week in the PGA Tour?
No.
The PGA Tour, which the season has started.
It has started, yeah.
It's been going for like a month. Who knew? But anyway, do you know what the name of the event was? You're going to love this.
The Tingler Championship.
It was not. No, even better. The CJ Cup.
Oh! Bet you guys didn't know I had a golf tournament.
I bet you didn't know you had a golf tournament either.
I didn't.
Clearly, you didn't know that, but I'm telling you now. It was called the CJ Cup.
Okay. Where is my tournament played at? It's been so long since I've been.
The CJ Cup.
That's my tournament. I don't even want to play it anymore.
That I'm aware of on radio here in this market that has a golf tournament named after him is CJ. The CJ Cup.
The club at 9 Bridges is where my tournament is played.
Mm-hmm.
9 million and some change is the cup. Not the cup,
And
the purse.
you don't take any of that money at all? No percentage
Austin,
profits?
I just give it all to the golfers, man.
You provided that for the
they need
golfers?
Yep.
Why didn't you keep some for yourself and fix your air conditioning? Well, you should have kept I just like $100,000 or something. I mean, that wouldn't be all that much. Like
Or
8.9
better yet,
million.
just keep a little bit of it and get you a better vehicle.
Well, let's not go crazy. I'm just saying, let's I think just probably should have skimmed a little bit off.
Nah, man, no. That's how you get.
You're
in
too
trouble,
good.
man.
You're too
You
good.
got the naming rights of this thing for crying out loud.
Yeah, these golfers have got.
I do have the
They
naming
got plenty
rights.
of money, man. They don't need to. You're not.
I'm trying to help the little people out. Trying to help out the millionaires, man. They're struggling.
Don't
Look, if you don't want it, I'll take some of it.
Don't sacrifice
I'm trying to
yourself.
help you guys.
Don't sacrifice yourself. Just to give. Who won the tournament? I mean, it's your tournament, obviously.
It is my tournament.
You know who the
Very
field was. and
clearly,
everything.
I know who the field was.
The pictures were there of you handing over the winner's trophy and that big check.
Very clearly, I know who won the tournament.
Yes.
But do you guys know who won the tournament?
I do.
Oh, you do?
Huh?
Well, tell everybody then, Peter.
Well, but it's your tournament. You should do the honors.
I just don't know why you did it in South Korea is the only question.
Well, that's where we decided to have it.
I mean,
in Jeju Island.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. That's where it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brooks Koepka won last year.
I was there for Brooks. Yeah.
You should have told us he was going to be so good. I mean,
I didn't know. I thought it was a one-off thing. It's tough to get a feel on him.
Mm.
A lot of greats come through the CJ Cup and get that W.
The CJ
You
Cup.
didn't get a feel on how well he was going to stroke it.
I did not know, Austin, how he stroked it pretty well. He definitely stroked it good as hell at the CJ Cup.
He's got a good feel on it.
He had a great feel that day. I didn't know that was going to continue, and he was going to continue to be able to stroke it like he was able to stroke it at the CJ Cup. But he stroked the hell out of it at the CJ Cup.
You know who'd be good at that would be the Jace Tingler.
Oh, I wonder what Jace Tingler's game is like.
Got a big stroke game is what my understanding.
Okay. All right, no handicap at all.
Just feels good.
Okay.
Feels good when you play that well.
It does. Just seeing it go in the hole is outstanding.
Justin Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Got it done.
He definitely
Two-time winner
won.
of the CJ Cup. I mean, that's the amazing thing.
Justin and I hang out all the time, man.
JT, CJ.
Yep.
Why don't you get him on the show?
Jace Tingler. There you go. There you go.
Excellent point. You're right.
I'll reach out to him and see if he can get on.
Yeah.
But the season is underway. Maybe in the off season we can get him on.
There is no off season in golf.
There's a week. There's a week. It'd have to be like first week of October, I think. There's like 1 week where they don't play.
Yeah, we could try.
Literally a 51 week. He's probably not going to be doing something for Christmas. So let's just bring him in. See if we can bring the cup in.
I'll
break out of the CJ Cup.
Yeah,
I'll get the cup.
How's the cup compared to like the Raptors championship rings?
Oh, it's so much better.
Oh,
it's so much better because it's shiny and it's smooth and it
those rings
says
are pretty
CJ
shiny.
on it.
It just says CJ.
That's all.
That's it.
That's all.
That's it.
It's a picture of you.
Yeah, it says CJ on the front and then on the back.
It's a bunch of those.
It's your boy like this.
Chocolate diamonds all over the place.
Mhm.
Just like right there.
Yep.
You seen those?
The chocolate diamonds. Yeah.
So you just got a whole face full of chocolate diamonds, and then you, 2 thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
It's really
It's actually.
Oh, it's the pistol.
double fingers.
Like Isaac from Love Boat. Yep.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, listen, I congratulations on having the tournament. I can't believe we didn't talk about it until now, but
I was
it's a
trying to keep it under wraps.
Yeah, I'm sorry I revealed the secret. Secret's out, guys. CJ's got a tournament, okay?
Yeah. So it says the trophy is this because I like my shapes. I like my parallelograms.
You do like shapes. That's
I
why
like parallelograms. It's a square that says the CJ Cup on it. On the front and then on the back is me.
I thought you like parallelograms.
Huh?
I thought you like parallelograms.
A square is a parallelogram, isn't it?
No.
Is it a rhombus? No, I think a square is a parallelogram.
I'm not so sure about that.
What's the definition of a parallelogram?
Let's see. Parallelogram is a four-sided rectilinear figure with opposite sides parallel.
Yeah, so a square is a parallelogram.
Yeah, I guess it is. It's typically it would be a. Why don't you just call it a square?
Because it is a square, but it's also a parallelogram. It's in the parallelogram family.
It's like saying
same reason I don't call.
It's like saying it's a shape.
It's not. There's a different classification there. Same reason I don't call lions cats.
Parallelogram is the genus and square is the species?
Yes. Austin gets it.
I think that's how that works.
It's just like a parallelogram.
Or is it a quadrilateral?
Well, it is also quadrilateral. Right?
Yes. So it might not be a parallelogram.
Is this geometry class? What is this?
I'm getting them confused. It's been so long since I had geometry.
Okay. Listen, quadrilateral. It's a square is a quadrilateral.
It's certainly that.
And it's also a parallelogram.
Okay. So I was right.
Okay. So
it's also a square.
It's also a rhombus.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Perfect.
But it's special because its angles form right angles and all the sides are equal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what makes a square different.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Rectangle angles form right angles, but the two sides are equal and two other sides are equal, but all four aren't equal.
No, but squares also, by this definition, square is a rectangle.
Square is not a rectangle because all sides have to be equal.
What do we call it?
An equilelogram.
A rectangle is a quadrilateral whose interior angles measure 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
There's no specific that it has to be, two sides have to be longer than the other.
Yeah,
Look,
that's
my
what,
brain is hurting with all
that's
this
what
math,
makes a rectangle a rectangle. That two sides are different in length from the other two sides, but two of those sides are still equal.
But is that the actual definition?
Yeah.
I think that's just the assumption, but it's not the definition.
That's not the assumption. That's what it is. Where's Einstein? I need you to be like Einstein.
You know how Peter falls asleep when we talk about fantasy football?
Mm-hmm.
This is what happens when we talk about
I'm
geometry
way
and
more
math.
interested in
This
this.
is thrilling,
This
though.
is tremendous.
This is thrilling.
Yeah. I'm way more interested in this conversation. Like, I mean, let's get into the differences between parallelograms and rhombuses and quadrilaterals and
what makes a square a square.
That's right. A kite. Where's a kite come into this whole thing? That's in there.
A kite is a rhombus.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
I don't think it's a parallelogram.
Okay. Who could find out?
I don't know.
Who can say? Probably nobody. Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back. Lots more to get to here on The Experience as we continue Real Sports Talk, Sports 56, 96.1, 87.7.
Get happy with Johnny Radio's Happy Hour. Weekday afternoons from 1 till 3 on Sports 56, 96.1, and 87.7.
The folks at Homer Skelton Hyundai want to say thank you. Thank you, Memphis, for another spectacular year. They set records, but I can understand why. You think about the product. Where else do you get a 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty? That's what you get on every new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Oh, and thank you again for the 11th straight year, the #1 certified pre-owned car dealership in all of Memphis. It starts with that product, but then it goes to the shopper assurance. Where else do you go where you get transparent pricing, flexible test drive, take the car for a couple of days if you want, streamlined buying process? You're not going to be there all day, in and out. And then, and I have not seen this anywhere else, the 3-day worry-free exchange. You buy a new car, if you've got any buyer's remorse, you've got 3 days to change your mind. Just get on Lamar, take it into Mississippi, the first exit's Craft Road, turn left, and go see Chris True and all the gang at Homer Skelton Hyundai.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, CEO and founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare contracts, and in the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sound crazy? The crazy thing is, this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare contract, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-542-7711. 800-542-7711. 800-542-7711.
Fall is fast approaching, and you know what that means. Time to start thinking about covering your pool. The best way to protect your pool, your loved ones, and your pocketbook is with a safety pool cover. Mario's Pools on Exeter and Germantown has the best advertised price on all pool safety covers, solid and mesh. Keep your pool looking great year after year. A safety cover requires less maintenance, saves money on chemicals and water, prevents standing water, and extends the life of your liner. Call Mario's Pools at 552-3399. That's 552-3399. Or just walk in and see him in Germantown on Exeter Road. Plus, he specializes in pool closings. Mario's has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Check out his reviews on Facebook. Protect your investment. Call Mario's Pools today. 552-3399.
You have to be up in 5 hours, 2 hours, 6 minutes. And when you hear, you realize that you haven't slept a wink. That's why there's ZzzQuil Pure Z's, a drug-free blend of botanicals with an optimal dose of melatonin, so you can fall asleep naturally with no next-day grogginess. It's available in both liquid and gummies, tastes great, and is non-habit forming. Pick up ZzzQuil Pure Z's from the sleep experts at Vicks ZzzQuil. ZzzQuil Pure Z's, naturally superior sleep. Available at retailers near you.
Your University of Memphis women's soccer team is ranked in the top 10 in the nation and has been dominating opponents on both ends of the field. We'll attempt to break the all-time Memphis soccer attendance record on Sunday, October 27th at 1 p.m. at the Tigers Soccer Complex on the Park Avenue campus. So bring the whole crew and enjoy an afternoon of Memphis soccer, along with incredible family-friendly concession prices, including dollar hot dogs. Be a part of a record crowd and support Memphis women's soccer on Sunday, October 27th at 1 p.m. Parking and admission are free.
Welcome back to the Peter Edmiston Experience with CJ Hurt. This hour is brought to you by Acura of Memphis. Here once again are Peter and CJ.
Paid the cost to be the boss. I paid the cost to be the boss. Look at me. You know what to see. See a bad mother.
This
Look
is
at me. Know what to
Vice
see.
Principal of Soul right here.
See a bad mother.
Or as the name of the song would say, it's The Boss.
You paid the cost to be the boss. That's the important thing you got to remember. You paid the cost to be the boss. How much does it cost to be the boss?
I don't know how much.
You wouldn't know because you're not the boss.
Oh, good point.
Someday, maybe you will.
If he told you, he'd have to kill you.
Look at Greg over there. He's so excited because you got Joe Girardi as his manager of his film. look at this guy.
Beaming over there.
Positively floating on air.
Glowing Greg Gaston.
He's no Jace Tingler, but we'll have to see if he can get the Jace Tingler.
Text in on the first.
Sounds like one of those Carson deals that they would do, the Jace Tingler. What do you get when you go on a roller coaster that's rattling around too much? A little Jace Tingler.
That might be my new baseball team. I might have to follow the Padres around just to see what
CJ might actually watch baseball next year now.
Ooh, the Jace Tingler.
Getting the tinglers over here.
Ooh, a little tingly. I'm feeling a little tingly. The Padres are getting a little tingly.
I'm feeling even more tingler.
They're even more tingler than they were.
Yeah,
just moments ago.
Full of the tingle.
Just trying to see like Joe Buck like saying his last name on the broadcast and trying to keep a straight face.
If I were like the Dick Enberg role of the Padres radio guy, it would just be the Padres, of course, managed by Jace Tingler. every game, 162 of them.
Oh,
because they're not making the playoffs, so they don't have to worry about it anymore.
No.
But just the 162 and the Gwizzies.
Tingler's on the mound.
Tingler's
approaching the mound.
And, of course, he's being visited by Jace Tingler, who's going to take him out of the game.
Jace Tingler's going to take him out.
It's the most pleasurable way to get taken out of the game, though, is a Jace Tingler.
Okay. All right.
Not to be confused with a stinger, of course. That's when you're feeling in your...
That's awful.
A tingler is a whole different deal right there. A lot of feeling.
Oh, full of it. Full of it.
All right, so tonight, give me a final score. 135-12 is my final. Tigers over CBU.
Man. You said give me a final score, and my mind went to all the other sports going on outside of that.
Well, tell me. Give me a final score. Then.
A final score.
Uh-huh.
I think a solid final score.
Yep.
Let's go 47-17.
Okay.
47-17. Final score.
Is that any sport or just?
It's going to be a low-scoring game in some sports, a really high-scoring game in some sports.
If that's Tiger score, that's we got some discussions that we're going to have. after that game. But yeah,
I mean, no matter what, if 47-17 is a score, we will be talking about it. Because if you get beaten baseball 47-17, like, ooh, what is going on here?
That's true. But I mean, tonight you got Redskins Vikings. That could be 47-17. It wouldn't be that crazy.
But we would still be like, ooh, what is happening?
Austin tried to get me riled up on the Kirk Cousins Bowl, and I'm not feeling it.
You like that, Peter?
I have no emotion. Kirk Cousins is, again, vastly overpaid at $84 million. All of it guaranteed. I'm glad he got his money, but geez Louise. And, of course, Washington's terrible.
Yes.
And that has not changed.
Just hit Stephon Diggs, baby. That's all I need you to do.
I do like watching Dalvin Cook.
Oh, he's good. He's real good.
He got some. He's a gifted back.
He's got some Jimmy with that shake.
He got some tingler when he makes those moves.
I get the tinglers when I see him make them.
So 47-17 is the final. Okay, all right.
Of somebody. Somebody's winning 47-17.
Josh Gordon out as a Patriot.
That hurts.
Does it?
Yeah, because me.
Oh.
Me. I have to put him on IR.
Is this about your fantasy team?
Yes.
Oh, for God's sake. All right, what's coming up next on middays? They have Jace Tingler?
They do not have Jace Tingler, but they do have Mike Norvell. Does that count?
Oh, that's good.
Brandon Lang will be on at 10:25. Talk about some football. Got Mike Norvell at 11:45. Tiger Football Report. And of course, Harold Grader in the AutoZone Liberty Bowl inside College Football Hour.
The AZLB ICFBH coming up next. Fantastic. All right, looking forward to all of that. It's middays.
Had a math teacher text in, said a square fits the definition of rectangle, rhombus, parallelogram.
Thank you, math teacher.
Parallelogram, quadrilateral. Yeah.
Thank you, math teacher. Appreciate that. We're helping learn about our shapes.
Super kindergartners. Let your teachers know.
Little junior experiencers out there. Make it happen. I wish all of you guys today a Jay Stingler of a day. And a Seco Dumboy to all of you. Good night, everybody.
Good night.